start your show now, press 1 to hear.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Testing 1, 2. Okay. All right. All right. Yeah, we're here. Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. You are tuned in. Internet people, virtual beings, my brothers, my sisters, and all you Johnsons everywhere. How y'all feeling? Let me give it up for my people on Periscope, on YouTube, and on Facebook for reappearing again. I'm a hard guy to deal with sometimes. So I thank you for putting up with me, and I will do the same with you. Let's keep it real, Johnson. Some of you, I don't know. Look, guys, it gets this way. We're shut in the house. We can't go for a walk, on the beach or nothing. We just, we're all like bottled up, right? So it's okay to blow off a little steam online with us. Tim Black's Wolfpack. What's up, Tim Black's Wolfpack? How y'all feeling? That's right. My people. Let's go and make sure they can hear us on YouTube. YouTube. Sup, Buck. What's up, Buck? Bob for the kids. Agella, Mr. D, MD, Tanya, Brad, Rev Marie. Welcome back, Rev. What's up? Mary Warren, Rahul, Maxe, Burnt Out One, and Frank Barrow. Thank you guys for letting me know you could hear and that everything's good. What's up, David Melford? Hey, thank you, David Melford, for becoming a big-time supporter of the Tim Black Show. David Melford just upped his ante on Patreon. Thank you, David. I love you, man. Appreciate you. David was wearing a No Joe button when he got interviewed by local press. That was really cool for him to let me know so I could see that picture and post that picture with No Joe buttons. Oh, speaking of No Joe buttons, guys, everything's all backed up. We got everything here. My wife and I, mostly my wife, it was her project. She wanted to handle it, and we got everything ready. Now we're just a little afraid to go to the post office. But all the buttons are in envelopes. They're all sealed up. They're all addressed. They're all ready to go. And it's just a little nerve-wracking. She said to me today, she's like, baby, I'm a little worried about going to the post office. I said, well, don't go. Let's not go. But we'll talk about that. Scary stuff, guys. People on Facebook, how my Facebook people doing? What's up, Facebook? Margarita Silver Potts and Phyllis and Bruce and Amy and Dolores and Anita. Joanne, what's up? How y'all feeling? Uli, Rose and Carrie. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, Gina and Rita. And shout out to Brenda, wherever you are, Brenda. I'm so sorry for your loss, my sister. You know, we're thinking about you, we care about you, and we wish you the best. It's tough. Reach out to us, and we want to talk to you. Reach out to us, okay? So, looking good there, Facebook. How y'all doing? You can hear me, Gina? Can you hear me, Gina, Rita? Gina, Rita, Uli, Trent, Mark, Jeanette, Rich. Thank you, Rich. I appreciate it. Hey, Sandy, what's up? Hey, Nicole. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Ryder and Trent, Jeremy. Good to have you, Annette, Steve, Joyce. Good to have you guys, Denise. Thank you so much for being here. Look, guys, I'm going to put the phone number up now because if I don't, I'll probably forget, and we don't need me forgetting to do that. There we go. Hope everybody can see that phone number. 319-527-6212 is the number. People are already starting to get in the queue, which is great. I will try not to make today's monologue too long, but there are a couple things that must be addressed before we get into the show, kind of set the table a little bit. Things that were on my, things that I ran across that really said, you know what, I got to talk about this. First of all, I did a special Tim Black Coffee with Tim Black because I had to cover the developments in Wisconsin where, yes, the governor there, what's his name, Ayers? I think his name is Ayers. He buckled under pressure. See, he was getting a lot of pressure, the governor from Wisconsin, to push back the election. He was getting a lot of pressure to do something else with the election besides open the doors and let people get infected. Okay? So mail-in ballots were the way not only advocates, activists, and mayors wanted him to go, but also Bernie Sanders. Yeah, because Bernie Sanders was lock in step with the mayors and with the activists with wanting to have mail-in ballots as opposed to putting people in harm's way in order to cast their vote. Now, it's important to note, and I didn't put this in the video, but the governor is a Republican, and there's a lot more going on there besides Democrats voting in their primary. There's also going to be a Republican primary. There's also some court appointments that are on the ballot as well. So low turnout, which is what we're expecting if they went through with it, would all but ensure that the Republican incumbent would take the seat. So I don't know how that factors in, but I think it's important to note that there's always a form of politics being played in every decision. People are always looking for some form of leverage. And I also want to point out that Joe Biden is a heartless bastard. Yeah, I want to make sure that that's abundantly clear for anyone who's on the fence on this. Joe Biden, you have the entire establishment at your back. All the wheels of power in D.C. pushing for you. We're not idiots. We know that Obama put his finger on the scale. He just did it behind the scenes. No one's delusional except you and a couple of other people who think that Bernie is the problem in D.C. Yeah, the most progressive candidate, the most progressive person probably in history in the last 100 or 50 years, because they're, let's go 50. That's pretty strong. 50 is strong. 50 is a long time. The most progressive candidate in D.C. in the last 50 years is the problem. Not the rest of these right? Anyway. I'm sorry, guys. I said I was going to be better than that. I promised my wife. Here's the deal. Joe Biden, with all the institutional support that he has, from governors, mayors, Jim Clyburn, I know Joe, to Kamala Harris, looking like she was in a witness protection program but still endorsed him, Amy Klobuchar, to Pete Buttigieg, to Cory Booker. Hi, I'm Cory Booker. I was the mayor of Newark, and now I'm a sellout piece of scumbaggery that supports Joe Biden. They all came out for Joe Biden. I think there's more. Oh, yeah, aloha. Yeah, Joe Biden was showing his heart of aloha when he decided that he'd rather people die than for us to push back a primary or to allow mail-in ballots to take place, because the election was scheduled to go for Tuesday. So there's no time to get the ballots out. Such an aloha. I'd like to know, if aloha, does that mean bloodthirsty? Maybe there's different definitions for aloha, Tulsi Gabbard. Maybe aloha also means ruthless, horrible, potential rapist. I don't know, maybe those things also fall under the category of aloha. I was under the impression aloha meant like fighting for Medicare for all, wanting everyone to have health care coverage, wanting everyone to get out of unnecessarily being incarcerated, do away with bail, our bail system that destroys lives. Meanwhile, we got a bunch of prisoners in jail right now dying. I thought that was the aloha spirit. My bad, didn't know it was Joe, the guy who wanted to make Wisconsin, make those folks go out to the polls and come back and with the coronavirus and give it to everybody else. Perfect. I got it now. I was under the impression that, he was a good guy, a good man. It's one thing to rattle on and on about people and whatever, but let's let the facts say what they are. Some people endorsed Joe Biden, like Kamala Harris did, in the 30-second clip looking like she was a deer in headlights, like she didn't want to do it. And then some people made it a big thing with great camera work and music and fake wind blowing through their hair. Okay? Sparkles. All right. But that's not all I want to talk about. We know who Joe Biden is, right? So we're pretty clear on that. I'm upset about Joe Biden and his fuckery, the chicanery, which is Joe Biden, the establishment push to make sure this guy gets the nod. That pisses me off. But hey, that's what they do, right? We fight the good fight here. I ain't giving up. Anything can still happen. And my preferred candidate, who I haven't had a chance to vote for, even though Whoopi Goldberg is fine with me not being able to vote, even though 27 states haven't cast their freaking ballot. She doesn't care. Right? Fine with it. That's not the only reason why I'm pissed. Those of you who follow me on Facebook as Real Tim Black, you'll know that I've made posts about my brother. My brother drives a Metro bus. And I've been reeling for a couple of weeks about the lack of PPE, personal protective equipment, afforded to these bus drivers who run these buses to transport people, sometimes nowhere, basically, where people get on the bus for a couple of blocks like it's, like it's like they're at the amusement park, or like it's an adventure. So I've been reeling about the fact that they were supposed to give masks, they didn't give masks, gloves, all the other things that you would need in a pandemic not to die. So I've been pissed off about it and I've been talking about it. Well, just so happened there's a story that my brother shared with me about a bus driver out of Detroit. Shit. We'll come back to Biden.
Hey, look.
The language here is going to be a little rough, okay? Let me make sure people know this. Let me know. I'm sorry, guys. The language here is going to be a little rough, okay? So I think I probably should let you know that. All right, here we go. Here goes the clip.
Hey, look, listen, man, let me tell you something. This coronavirus shit is for real. And we out here as public workers doing our job, trying to make an honest living to take care of our families. But for you to get on the bus and stand on the bus and cough several times without covering up your mouth, and you know that we in the middle of a pandemic, that lets me know that some folks don't care, utterly don't give a fuck. Excuse my language, but that's how I feel right about now. For a grown-ass person in her late 50s, early 60s to stand on the fucking bus and cough 4 and 5 times without covering up your mouth, and you know we in the midst of a motherfucking crisis with this coronavirus, I am pissed the fuck off. I ain't blaming nobody. I ain't blaming nobody but the woman that did that shit. I ain't putting the fault on nobody else. For us to get through this and get over this, man, y'all need to take this shit serious. It's folks dying from this. Listen, it's folks dying out here because of this shit. And I don't mean, listen, I'm mad right about now because that shit was uncalled for. And I'm trying to be the professional that they want me to be, and I kept my mouth closed. All right, thank you. I kept my mouth closed. But it's at some point in time where you got to draw the line and say enough is enough. That shit was uncalled for. I feel violated. I feel violated for the folks that was on the bus when this happened. It was about a good 8, 9 people on the bus and she stood there and coughed. Never covered up her mouth.
Never covered a fucking... All right, so this story, the bus driver's name was, because he's now deceased, his name was Jason Hargrove. He was a city bus driver. Now, they said shortly 4 days after shooting this video, where he complained about this woman on the bus coughing, he went to the hospital. He was sick. Glenn Tolbert, the head of the union, of the bus drivers union in Detroit, told the Detroit News that Hargrove started to feel ill on March 25th. That's it, March 25th. 4 days later, 4 days after the incident with the coughing passenger. And a week later, he was dead. They go on to say, his death comes at a time when bus drivers in Detroit have expressed concern over whether the city and the state are doing enough to protect its public transportation workers from infection. On March 17, a few days before Hargrove's plea, bus drivers shut down public transportation by calling in sick in fear of an outbreak. The Detroit Free Press reported the city restarted the service on March 18, only after agreeing to keep the first row of seats empty. They had passengers enter and exit from the rear of the bus and urging riders to stay 10 feet away from drivers. Jason Hargrove is 50 years old. His life is gone because a careless, thoughtless scumbag of an individual, whoever that was, like, look, guys, I have no way, no one can tell you exactly how you contracted the coronavirus. But as Mr. Hargrove noted in the video, it wasn't just him on the bus, it was 9 other people on the bus that she was coughing in front of. Some people are animals. They just don't care about anyone else. Now, Mr. Hargrove didn't use artful language. So what? Who cares? Express yourself. That passenger might as well say she took a gun and shot him in the head. You might as well say she took shots at everybody on that bus. So I think people need to strike. I think people need to do something because they're not going to give you the proper equipment. They're going to say you're essential, but then they don't give you any protection to make sure your essential worker person can go home, make it home, not infect your kids or your parents or your spouses or your neighbors, and God forbid for you to be able to make it back. So if these people are essential, maybe they should be paid a decent wage. Maybe they should have the proper equipment. And maybe the people that are responsible that made it so that these workers don't have what they need, maybe they should be kicked the hell out of office. Maybe we should do something about it besides be upset. You know, maybe we should. Maybe we should do something about it. That's going to take all of us, not one individual doing something and then blaming it all on one individual. It's going to take all of us. And it's going to take those who are truly leaders, not just shouters, to organize it, to form it. That's what needs to be done. Those will be proper steps. But if you're going to be mad at someone right now, be mad at the neighbor of yours who does not take this serious. This is serious business. Mr. Hargrove is evidence of it. Man's life gone. Family torn up. Friends. Everything gone. You kill a man, you kill a woman, you kill a human being, you take away every dream they ever had. That's what's happening with this virus. So I want everybody to know how serious this is. The time for jokes, the time for niceties, the time for people not wanting to feel down is over. If you feel down, and from you feeling down or upset or not wanting to hear this, is not being chipper, not being fun, good if it saves your life. So that's what we need to focus on. Saving each other's lives, saving our lives, saving the lives of our family, our neighbors, our friends, and lives of those we don't even know. Because let's face it, that woman didn't know anybody on that bus, and she was fine with that. She was fine with putting them all in jeopardy. All right, so rest in peace to Mr. Hargrove, and my condolences to the family of Mr. Hargrove. Hey, you know, if you are sick and you don't have something over your fucking mouth, and if you're coughing without covering your mouth, you should go to jail for that. Well, I guess you can't right now, huh? I was reading where people were going, there were some people in New York who weren't moving fast enough out of the street, or they were congregating when they shouldn't be, or something to that extent. And the NYPD's solution for that is to touch you without gloves, put you in a wagon, crowded wagon, have you transported to a jail in close quarters with people you don't know who don't wear masks, and then put into a cell with people without any protection. So basically, they're killing you. Now, You know, I'm glad that Bill de Blasio supported Bernie Sanders. I'm not glad that Bill de Blasio doesn't have a pair of testicles or the ability to get shit under control in New York City to take a stand. Bill, you want to be progressive, bro, but be progressive all the way around and do something about the people in Rikers. Those are human beings. And stop picking up young people off the street because they are outside and they're stupid and then killing them by putting them in your prison where people are being infected every minute. The 1%'s going to be just fine, Johnson. You guys get it? The 1%'s going to be just fine. Right now, when was the last time anybody seen Ivanka? Where's Ivanka? Anybody seen, I don't know, Don Jr.? And the other one, the really goofy one? Anybody seen these guys? Oh, no, I know, because they're somewhere on a private island. That's what they're doing. They're on a private island right now. Chilling. Yeah, it's us poor folks who get to die for it, right? So, as we reported earlier, Joe Biden he was fine with pushing the election. In fact, he didn't, look, guys, Joe Biden didn't just want for Wisconsin to go ahead with their election in person elections, had people at the polls. He pushed for it, guys. He was pushing to make it happen. Here's the deal about, now this was printed out, well not printed out, but this was tweeted out by David Sirota from the Bernie Sanders campaign, Bernie 2020. He said the talking points are this: Medicare for all scares me more than coronavirus. Politico: no, coronavirus isn't proof we need socialism. Editorial, Washington Examiner: Medicare for all wouldn't have better preparedness for the coronavirus. Sahil, whatever the hell his name is, on MSNBC right now, Joe Biden tells I don't know who these people are. He still opposes Medicare for all as the coronavirus crisis grows. Single payer will not solve that at all. And I don't know who Sahil is, but he might not be a bad guy. I don't know. He was sharing information. So I take that back. I don't want to paint a guy or anyone negatively who doesn't deserve it. So my bad, Sahil. You may be a good guy. But I know Joe Biden isn't a good guy. Now here goes the reality versus the talking points. Total cost of her COVID-19 treatment, $34,927.43. Because see, the test is free, not the treatment. Making uninsured Americans could be facing nearly $75,000 in medical bills if hospitalized for coronavirus. 3.5 million workers likely lost their employer-provided health insurance in the past 2 weeks. 30 million Americans could lose their private health insurance over the next few months. 30 million, Johnson. What I find amazing, you know that President Trump is thinking about taking all the people that are uninsured instead of extending ACA, Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. He's considering just saying anybody who doesn't have insurance can just go to the doctor for free and the government will pay for the visit at the same rate as Medicare for all. Or Medicare, I'm sorry. The same rate as Medicare. So you couldn't gouge the government and write everything up, you know, and tack on and add on and slide in all types of operational cost and whatever markup profit percentage. They would only get paid scale because the government's not going to let you screw on like that. That's amazing, isn't it? Donald Trump moving on your left side. Moving on your left, Democrats, because the Democratic Party is so stagnant, so sold out, so compromised, so corrupted that Donald Trump may prove to be more of a lefty, at least when it comes to health care. You know, it's not too late for all those people out there who threw Bernie Sanders under the bus to go ahead and admit you were wrong and stupid, and the person you supported, maybe shouldn't have done that, and go ahead and go with the guy who's being proved to be the best person, who with the best ideas for this country to save lives in real time. So like very rarely do things happen in real time that you can see them happen that make you say, damn, he was right. It's not hypothetical. It's not theoretical. It's real. It's right here, baby. We're right now living through a situation that proves everything that we were saying was true. That what? We got gross income inequality. It's going to cost lives. We got people right now not going into the hospital because they don't have insurance. And if they do, they don't have the co-payment money. And they're dying because of it. Okay. So we all know we need to stay 6 to 10 feet. I'm making it 20 feet from people, frankly. I forgot what my wife looks like. She's way over there. Joking. But no, seriously, I'm following the social distancing rules. I hope you are too. And it appears that CNN is not. Yeah, it appears that CNN is just like, let's take our chances and get this paper.
I also want to take just a brief moment here to note that I am anchoring at this hour because our friend and colleague, Brooke Baldwin, who normally anchors at this time, has herself been diagnosed with coronavirus. Brooke has chills, aches, and a fever, even though she had been taking all sorts of precautions. She tested positive this morning anyway. Brooke, we all love you. We are all thinking of you. We are all praying for you.
How you doing,
Chris?
bud?
How you feeling?
I'm doing well. The beast comes at night. You know, as we know, the healthcare workers have taken to calling the virus the beast. I understand why. My fever has gone up a couple of degrees in like the last 30 minutes. Nights are tough. And I've learned something that I didn't know before. It is responsible journalism to say that 80% of people who get this statistically wind up okay, meaning they don't go to the hospital, they get through it. It is not humanly responsible, though, from an ethical perspective. Now that I'm one of the anointed and these people reach out to me, you suffer when you have this at home unless you are ridiculously lucky statistically and maybe karmically as well. I can't tell you how many stories I've had of people who have had over 100, 102 fever for 8, 10, 12 days. And just to tell you what kind of toll that can take, look, it's not about life or death. I don't mean it that way. Otherwise, I wouldn't be doing the show. I'm not looking to scare people. I'm trying to do the opposite. I've lost 13 pounds in 3 days. Wow. Now, I'm a big guy. I started off at 230 pounds. My wife is feeding me like, you know, we were still in the dating phase. You know, so it's not like I'm hurting for nutrition. I'm eating and drinking constantly. I'm just sweating it out, and it's the sickness. So, yeah, 80%, we're going to make it through. But the idea that it's easy, so you can be nonchalant, that is so misleading, fellas. That I now know for fact.
Oh, okay. There we go, guys. So both Brooke Baldwin and Chris Cuomo have become infected. They both have been diagnosed to have the coronavirus. So they're both at home now, Brooke and Chris Cuomo. And it appeared, I think they showed a clip where some other CNN anchors were wearing masks now because, yeah, maybe there's something in those offices. I don't know. But people are getting infected in the CNN offices. Yeah, maybe they should make everybody work from home if they're going to work. Might be a good idea, right? What else? Yeah, you know, Joe Biden's always talking about this spirit of America and how all Americans work together. And I'm not saying that don't happen. I'm not saying we don't have good-spirited people doing good-spirited things. But I'm also telling you we got some scumbags too. And speaking of scumbags, besides the people that hoard all of the goods for themselves and then try to sell them on eBay, thank you, eBay, for stopping them, and Amazon, thank you, Amazon, for stopping them. There are the people who have been interjecting themselves into people's Zoom conversations and shouting racial obscenities. Yeah, Johnson, even though we're in a pandemic, racism going racism. Bigots going bigot, baby. Where's this shit at? Thousands. I said thousands of Zoom video calls have been exposed on the web. Yeah. I like Zoom. I use Zoom. They say they've been patching it and working on it. Now, the way Zoom used to work is that you get an address where people would go to and they wouldn't be password protected. So I think that was part of the problem. Now there is a password protect. Whenever you create a session, your person needs more than just the address. Now they also need an address plus a passcode. Or you can have another option where they use the address, but you as the presenter can see who it is before you allow them to come into the stream, because frankly, we got people with not enough to do and who are deciding, hey, I'm bored. I'm sitting at home, I'm by myself. I'm a racist bigot. So what I'll need to do is I need to jump into conversations and shout obscenities while students are trying to work together. Yeah, I need to shout the N-word. Yeah, it makes me feel good in my soul. Shout the N-word to strangers while they're in the middle of a business meeting. Yeah, just pop in and take my clothes off and run around. These people are idiots, man. So, yeah, Joe Biden, I'm sure we have some Americans that are good people, but then we have some Americans that are scumbags. You're in the scumbag category, by the way, if you were wondering. Yeah, unlike some, I'm not stupid, right? I'm not stupid. Never appeared to be that nice a guy to me either. You are creepy. But, hey, that's why I'm not in cable news, because I call it like I see it. Speaking of scumbaggery, guys, and calling it like you see it, I have been hard on Andrew Yang. Yeah, I've been hard on Andrew Yang. And people were like, Tim, you have been too hard on Andrew Yang. Why did you do that? And the Yang gang would come for me. They would be upset and pissed off with me. I'm like, well, the guy lied about Medicare for all. And the guy lied about this. And he lied about that. And he's overselling this and overselling that. I don't know what side he's on anything. Well, then there was this article, this op-ed that he wrote recently. That's crazy, Johnson. It's an op-ed about Asian racism, Asian bigotry, how a lot of Asian folks are being treated like garbage in light of the coronavirus, as if every Asian person had something to do with something. I don't even know what they're thinking. Okay? But they're like saying, hey, since Trump said China, from China, right? Whatever his face, from China. Well, since he said that now, us Americans, most of us are idiots. We don't know the difference between China and Korean or Vietnamese or Filipino. We just see people that don't look like us and go, China. And what we're doing is we're discriminating against and being real hateful towards these people. So Andrew Yang wrote an op-ed about it, guys. But before we get to the op-ed, I would like to play this clip. It's a clip from a couple of comedians, comedian Godfrey, who's hilarious, and Andre, who's also hilarious. They have a podcast, and Andre, who is, don't make me guess. I just said I'm dumb. I don't have any idea what nationality he is, but I think he's Chinese. I think, but he's going to tell you about how it is living in California right now, around bigots in the most liberal state, supposedly.
Dude, the other day I was sitting on a bench,
Yeah.
like at a park. This white dude rides his bike right by me. He grills me, and he starts shaking his head like, and he keeps riding. And I was like, damn, this Corona shit's like fucking. Fuck. I feel like Ali trying to eat at a diner in the 60s.
It's probably like
Goddamn.
this. Boy, you talk about yellow fever. We're talking real disease. Gotta go.
Dude, I'm fucking feeling,
Serious?
Yeah, dude, people are racist as fuck out here.
Damn. He went like
Dude.
this.
Dude, I didn't even tell you about this. So there's a pizza shop down the street here.
Yeah.
And I go there and I go to walk in to pick up my order. And they're like, no, you got to wait outside. It's like,
What?
People are walking in, getting their food. And
Wow,
I'm waiting outside in the rain, bro.
What?
Yeah.
Damn, you guys are the new civil rights movement, man.
Bro, I'm experiencing this shit heavy.
Shit. I'm waiting. Oh, now all you need to add to the package is some police brutality. That's all you need now.
Well, that's not happening. Come on.
Okay.
That ain't happening. Statistically, Asians are the least abused by police.
Right. They don't see. Yeah,
No.
I already knew that though. No one fucks with Asians. It's blacks, Latino, then white. Yeah.
The numbers are so low with the Asians even getting tickets.
Yeah, maybe driving tickets because you suck at it.
I'm a pretty good driver.
Yeah, you're a pretty good driver, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you guys never get fucked with. I wonder why.
It's because we look innocent and we're known for being it's like a stereotype. We're known for being very smart.
All right. They lighten up. But they're comedians, so they're allowed to make jokes, right? And Godfrey can make black jokes and white jokes and whatever, and Andre can make black jokes and Asian jokes, whatever. But the point is, he was recounting what he's experiencing, and I know some of us aren't really thinking about it. Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. I don't think I was necessarily walking around thinking about people actually being discriminated against because of a virus, as if any individual that you meet had something to do with it. And I know we're scared right now. I know we're worried. I know we're frustrated, right? But to take it out on people, that's crazy talk. That's lunacy. I like it better what the late bus driver did, Roger. He the way he dealt with it was he was addressing the woman who was coughing. And I think that's probably be the best way to go. The person who doesn't have their mouth covered, who won't take the time to cough into their freaking arm, not your hand, your arm, and not infect others. That's the person you need to blame, not random people who have different skin tone than you. Be a freaking idiot. They wouldn't even let him in the store. The store, okay? So apparently this is something that's affecting the Asian community. They're having conversation amongst themselves. And Andrew Yang decided to talk about it. And let's see what Andrew Yang wrote an op-ed, okay? So
Dude, the other day, I was sitting on a bench.
So not only is Andrew Yang a dynamic force in CNN, he's also writing op-eds. He wrote this one. Andrew Yang, we Asian Americans are not the virus, but we can be part of the cure. Yeah, that's what he wrote, Johnson. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think about it, but first, I want to let an Asian person tell you what they think first, because that's probably the proper way to do this. This is Eddie Huang, Mr. Eddie Huang. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Huang. I think that Huang. I don't know, man. Mr. Eddie, what's up, bro? Now, I talked to Eddie on Twitter. We had a little chat because he posted this. He said, I told y'all, Andrew Yang, a cow-towing Uncle Chan. That's similar to Uncle Tom, I'm thinking. He said, fuck out of here with this American drag. You actually think a country with a president that uses the term China virus will ever see you as one of them because you wore red, white, and blue, you bumbling pineapple bun? Yeah. Now, Eddie is he's an American author. He's a chef, a restaurateur, a food personality, a producer, and an attorney. He co-owns the Bauhaus, a Gabao restaurant in East Village of Lower Manhattan. And he's also hosted Huang's World for Viceland. That's right. So he had a show on Viceland. So, yeah. And now you might say, wow, why is Mr. Eddie, you may say, why is Mr. Eddie so pissed off at Andrew Yang? I mean, he wrote an op-ed. What he's saying that it was so bad. Well, in this article that's talking about how people are overreacting due to the virus, Andrew Yang offers some advice to what Asians need to do about people treating them horribly because they're Asian, or people being bigots and discriminated against them because of the coronavirus that they had nothing to do with. He said, we Asian Americans need to embrace and show our Americanness in ways we never have before. We need to step up, help our neighbors, donate gear, vote, wear red, white, and blue, volunteer, fund aid organizations, and do everything in our power to accelerate the end of the crisis. We should show without a shadow of a doubt that we are Americans who will do our part for our country in this time of need. Demonstrate that we're a part of the solution. We are not the virus, but we can be part of the cure. Yeah. Because you being an American citizen ain't enough. You got to dance. What kind of dance you need to do? I know they had black folks used to have to tap dance or soft shoe something, throw some sawdust on the ground. And what do Asians have to do now, Mr. Yang? To fit in, wear red, white, and blue. Now we know why you used to wear the red, white, and blue scarf. You thought that would make white folks go, wow, he's American. God, I didn't know that. Had no idea he was American. Hey, look, man. If people don't respect you, there is nothing you can do to make them respect you. A person who's sick in the fucking head, who hates you because of your skin tone or your religion or your gender or your orientation, they're not going to change because you are nicer. Nah, they're not going to switch it up. They're not going to see the light. A Klan member's never like, I didn't know you were a good guy. Look, he held the door for me. It's more like, get that door away from me, Blackie. I'm not saying don't be a nice person, and I'm not saying conduct yourself like a jackass, but never do it in the hopes of swaying people to no longer be racist. Now, racism needs to be dealt with. And if anybody discriminates against you, file something on their ass. That works better, right, than you shucking and jiving and tap dancing. And I'm really glad that Mr. Eddie called it out because, in our community, if you're under the age of, say, 90, we gotta, we would drag you for that if you're a black person talking about, you need to be less black. You need to just buck your eyes. You need to just dance more. You need to sing songs. You need to, wear tight pants. Or whatever the hell stupid idea they come up with. Don't get me wrong. If you're over 90, I get it. You come from a time where black people got lynched just walking down the street. At least now they wait till it's late. So, I get that. But if you're under 90 and you're still talking this way, I don't care what color you are. Definitely Andrew Yang, who's only 45, man. Hey, man, you're a couple years younger than me, and you sound like a real Uncle Tom. You really, was you on the back of the bus? Was you on back of the bus? So all those people out there who were telling me how wrong I was about Andrew Yang, how I didn't just give him enough chance. His heart is in the right place. Yeah, well, his heart is all up the ass of this stupid ass system that he's just trying to eke out and get as much for Andrew Yang as humanly possible. And I don't care what foundation he starts or what group or what movement or whatever. At the end of the day, his goals, his ambitions are for him to get more for himself. Because anyone who's kissing ass like that, who's willing to throw their pride away, and then not only throw, like if you personally decide to be a scumbag, to be a groveling Uncle Chow, if that's what you decide to do, that's one thing. But for you to tell other people to do it, like you are giving advice that this is the way to go, someone's low opinion of you is none of your business. Nor is it something for you to try to correct. They need the correction. They need the disinfection, not you. And anything else, man, makes you a horrible individual, somebody we don't need to be around. And to think you wouldn't endorse Bernie? Shit. You don't deserve to endorse him. Scumbag. We don't like sellouts. All right. We're going to go to phone lines, Johnson. But we're going to do so after this. Let's let that breathe a little. Got a little testy. We want to have a fun show tonight, right? Well, at least not a show where Tim is being, showing, animosity or aggression or anything. So just calm down. And we'll be right after this. We'll be back right after this. And I mean directly back because this is really short, Johnson. Johnson Designs in my shop. If you want to pick them up, check them out. They are hilarious. They are revolutionary. And they're all Johnson. You're going to love them, man. Check them out. Both parties suck, Johnson. It's one of my favorites. Independent media only, Johnson. Keep it real. We are all Johnson. We are. We're one big community, guys. Go check it out. Independent media only. Johnson's in the house. Both parties suck, Johnson. We are here. They got a special going on right now. Free shipping. Get it today. Wolfpack. We are back. Man, I know Dave Chappelle's like, man, I'll never endorse anybody ever again, man. I endorsed that guy, man. How did I endorse him, man? I shouldn't have done it. Made a little mistake on my part. Can't believe I endorsed this guy. This guy's horrible. Dave Chappelle's wife is probably cussing him out. I told you not to endorse him. I thought you would like it. Like, no. All right, I'm going to go to the first phone call, man. Thank you for being here. My first call, I'm going to try to go in the order that calls are received. Please don't hang up. I'm going to get to you. I'm going to do my damnedest to get to everybody. Don't hang up. You throw my count off because I write down the calls. Am I writing down people and just the first couple of digits so I can keep them in order, okay? But my first caller, make sure I got the volume up here so I can hear you well, is a 352 number. 352, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Tim.
Hey.
You read me loud and clear?
Yes, sir.
Because I never know with this damn-ass cheap Walmart friggin' $40 phone. Anyway, Tim, when you got on, I called like right away. I said, and he says, well, listen, I got a lot of callers tonight. I'm going to get these guys real quick, but I got to get something off my chest. Bro, you wore me. You got everything off my chest. Are you kidding me? You hit everything on the friggin' money again. Now I'm like, okay. And that's Tim Black tonight. Good night, folks. He said everything you need to say. I'll tell you what, bro. I don't understand how it is. I'm not blowing smoke. I don't need to blow smoke. I'm nobody. I ain't got nothing. I'm all right. I'm not blowing smoke. You are special. You are different, my friend. I've been listening to talk show radio since I grew up in New York, driving a cab, listening to talk show. My father was big. Everybody asked me, why do you listen to talk shows? My father always told me, you got to know what the hell's going on in your fucking. You want to hear what's going on. Yeah. And in your community. But in our past, Tim, when we grew up, we heard what we're hearing now. The corporate medias were just messengers for the corporations. What they never expected was this thing called the internet would come along for people like you and independent. But you are different even than all the other independent media. I'm starting to watch. I don't want to name names because I know they're probably all our colleagues, right? Your colleagues and stuff like that. But I'll be honest with you, and I'm not. You are different than all of them that want to put themselves. You are unique. You are the Bernie Sanders of the independent media, and I'm not joking. That's not even a joke. All right, I'm on the end. I've seen a lot. I'm not the most, especially after midnight down, and I had a few beers, and I do what I got to do to survive every day. I got to play. I was just ready to I had other plans, and God laughed and says, hey, I got one more thing for you to get to. I'm like, what? Here's a plague. I'm like, God, everything I've been through in my life, I got to live through the next plague after 100 years. And now, I mean, there's so much. But anyway, I wanted to give you so much credit on the first. Now I wind up real quick. I can wind up real quick. You know what I feel like? I feel like when they asked Bernie Sanders, you got 45 seconds, Bernie, to tell us how we're going to fix the world.
Right.
That's what I feel like I'm up against all the time. It's like I got so much I want to talk to you about, but it's like, boop, thank you. You don't want to get started. But how we have debates like that is pathetic. When we're talking about the most important things in the world, and we're doing that. So anyway, I don't know. You got a long queue tonight?
Yeah, we do, man. I'll give you a couple minutes, though. You know, go ahead, brother.
All right. Can you do this for me, just like they do to the presidential candidates? This would be great, Tim. I know it would help me. But do like that in the background, like beep, you got 20 seconds. Beep, you got 10 seconds. Yeah. If I got a countdown, I know how to talk fast enough to get it in. But if I think I got time and it's like, well, wait, I was just relaxing, and then it went click, and I'm like, oh, wait. Yeah, if you could give me the beeps, 3 is plenty. A 3 count warning is plenty. 30, okay, 60, 30, 10. That's good. So it's amazing how fast I could talk about it. So all that being said, where are we at right now?
60 seconds.
Where are we at right now in this country? I got the plague going on and everything else with the election going on. All this, the world is up in arms right now. Everything's going, wow, what a year to live through. So where do we go from here? We go, oh, geez, I got to get the world's answer and freaking, I got 40 seconds. Okay, so here we go. Tim, in the end, we can't keep making it like Bernie gave us the leadership and opened up the gate. It's like the Warriors in the past, that tough guy that broke through the gate, everybody else is supposed to run through it. If Bernie broke through the gate and nobody else is following him, it don't mean nothing. He's always said it's we, it's not me. He's 78. He's not doing this for himself. He's not doing this for credit like some of these young guys are like, I want to be president now and then I could live like a king for 30 years. Bernie just had a heart attack. He could be retired on a farm, living with his grandchildren. He's doing this on a much higher mindset, and we don't realize how special this is. Most politicians are always going to be doing shit for themselves because they're young enough to freaking have a legacy. Bernie's doing it. So right now, Tim, you're fighting the great fight. I'm with you. And, if you could do the 60, 30, 10 when I call, I'll try to be a little more, programmed as far as maybe even make a few notes. But anyway, bro, you're best. You're special. You're different. And I'm telling you, I think YouTube cooks the numbers. There's no way you could tell me a guy is getting 1 million views to watch some puppy dog he trained to catch a freaking butterfly. Okay? All right? Are you kidding me? And then you're talking about the most freaking important things in a way that nobody really talks about it on the media, and they're telling me that's all the people are watching? Bullshit. We've got to be able to count the numbers. We've got to make sure the people that do the numbers are counting right. Okay? Just like these votes. Bernie didn't lose. They rigged this election when they put 18 people on that stage and then 18 of them turned around 6 weeks later, whatever it was, by South Carolina 16 of them turned around and jumped on Biden's boat. That was an ambush.
All right, man. I got to let it go there, man. I got to let it go, but I appreciate you so much, man.
Keep up the good fight. Love you.
Love you too, man. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything, man. The kind words, man. I appreciate it. You know, it's a rough road, man, but it's just how I'm built, man. And I still believe that Bernie Sanders is the best thing going, and that he sacrificed a lot. And until he's ready to leave, I'm still behind him 100%. In my way of supporting that candidate and supporting this movement is different than some other people's, and it costs me some stuff sometimes, but that's okay. I'll just keep doing myself, doing what I'm doing. It's good enough. Thank you. As long as my people understand why I do what I do. And there we go. Next call, man. 425, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? 425. 425. Okay. 425, I can't hear you. Okay, 425 is gone. 352, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
I gotta get back to the friggin', I gotta get off the phone. I gotta get back to the video.
I'm sorry, 989, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? Hey, how you doing?
I got a Tim. Sorry, I'll take you off speaker, man. I got a banger for you, man.
Perfect.
I got a banger.
Thank you.
And I'm not gonna just ramble on like the last dude and all these other people that I hear on like the Majority Report and other progressive shows. They just call in and ramble on for like 5 minutes, and they don't say anything of substance. I'm not going to do that, brother, because I don't do that. I've called in to the Dan Patrick show about a dozen times, called into the Majority Report 3 times since February.
You're doing that right
and my
now.
calls are always succinct. So I'm sorry, what did you say?
I said you're rambling on right now, brother. What's on your mind, man?
You're right. Yeah, you're right, man. I am. I'm like I don't know. There's some metaphor there that I can't think of right now.
Drop the heat, man.
So,
What's on your mind, man? You had something. Go ahead.
All right, let me start. I'll start. There's a lot of preamble, but I'll just start at the top. Bloomberg is going to be the nominee. Bloomberg. And I'll tell you why. Are you familiar with Jim Morrison, The Doors, their music at all?
A little bit, yeah. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, like Roadhouse Blues. Keep your eyes on the road, your hand upon the wheel. You know what I mean? Like, I'm singing real quiet right now. So anyway, Jim Morrison was a big believer in shamanism, like peyote and vision quests. So I went on a vision quest a couple nights ago, and that's when I realized that the DNC is going to install Bloomberg, and I'm a huge Bernie Sanders fan, man. It's going to be hard to find somebody who's a bigger Bernie supporter than I am, man. But the second that he drops out, dude, you're going to see stories leaked to New York Times, WAPO, Politico, CNN, MSNBC, that are all saying concerns about Joe Biden's quote-unquote health, which really means his mental health.
Wow.
And then within about, we're talking about manufactured consent here. And then within about, I don't know, a week or two, you're going to start hearing about Bloomberg might be replacing Biden. Dude, yes, I went on this vision quest and I saw this completely every step of the way. And the reason why should be fairly obvious. And the reason why is he bought fucking everybody, dude. You look at the state parties. Dude, the state, the national. Dude, how much money did he give the DNC, the national DNC, dude? Oh, my effing God, dude. Seriously, man. You know, dude, he has them bought top to bottom, man. And you want to tell me, dude, look at 2016. Look at what Hillary had. The DNC was the Hillary Clinton campaign, right? All the money from the Hillary Clinton campaign came through the DNC. Am I right or am I wrong?
That's true. She was their bank.
All right, man. Hey, that debate you had with Sam Cedar in 2017, man, you smoked him, dude. He was wrong. Dude, he was talking about Rushgate. Rushgate, dude. I watched this like 3 days ago, man. And I was like, oh, man, this did not age well for Sam.
Yeah.
I love Sam, but, oh, dude. Oh, you cannot talk about Rushgate and Rachel Maddow. And
he
3
was
years
defending
later,
Rush. He was
look
defending
good.
Rachel on that video, yeah.
But, yeah, hey, man, one last thing, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm serious about this Bloomberg thing, man. Like, I've seen it. I told you, Vision Quest, dude, I don't fuck around with stuff like this, man. Like, this is real.
Wow.
I know it's going to happen. Hey, February 26th, you go back, look at the majority report on YouTube. I called in 2 hours, 31 minutes, 0 seconds. I called in and I asked Sam, hey, dude, 2 days ago, you said that you don't think the DNC is going to use superdelegates to screw Bernie out of the nomination. He goes, oh, yeah, they wouldn't do that because they're going to lose. And I said, dude, that's a boomer take, man. The next day, the New York Times came out with a story. We interviewed, 93 superdelegates. And all but 84 of them said, well, actually, I was like, 84 out of 93 of them. Dude, I'm so wasted right now. Dude, 84 out of 93 of them said, we will use our power as super delegates to fuck Bernie out of the nomination.
Wow.
It was the next day after I made that call. Sam said, no, you're wrong. Michael Brooks said, no, you're wrong. Matt Lex said, no, you're wrong.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. And I've been trying to tell people about this. Bloomberg is the guy, man. That's the whole fucking point of this whole, thing, dude. Like, Bloomberg's the guy, dude. I've been trying to tell everybody. Matt Christman, Emma Vigeland, sorry. Cenk Uygur, Anna Kasparian, Brooks, Cedar, everybody. I've been trying to tell them, man, dude.
Wow.
You know how many substances I have to ingest to get to the point where I can see the future, man?
I don't
know how
man.
hard that is, dude.
God damn. Well, look, brother,
Yeah,
I appreciate you calling up, man. I appreciate it, but I got to keep things moving. I'll tell you this. There was a time I put out a video where I said that Bernie's biggest threat was Bloomberg because I believe, like you, that money is everything. At least when politics comes into play, from an establishment point of view. And you're right, he did buy up a lot of people. A lot of people don't realize. I had to double check. Bloomberg gave $18 million. Now, there's some people saying that Andrew Cuomo's the guy, right? I've been hearing that argument. I was talking to somebody about this just yesterday. But my thing was, if Cuomo's the guy and they're going to try to install Cuomo, that's a diss to Bloomberg. Because at least Bloomberg spent millions of dollars in this race, and then you just install Cuomo, who hasn't been on a single ballot. That would cause, mayhem. I don't know. It's an interesting concept, man, but, yeah. A lot of substances, huh? Yeah, a lot of substances. Interesting. All right, guys. I'm going to the next call, man. Thank you for the phone call. I got an 803 number in the queue. 803, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, this is Virgil. How you doing, Tim?
Hey, what's up, Virgil? What's on your mind, man?
Hey, I'm a white guy from South Carolina, and I can't say bad things about Jim Clyburn, but you can, and I love it.
You can say him too, brother. Just don't go racial. You can say him.
Yeah, I talk shit about him all the time. Yeah. Here, but my comment for tonight is, I'm Bernie or bust, and I'm seeing a lot of people on the left talking about, we got to vote blue no matter who, and I'm not doing it. So what's going to happen? What do we do if if Bernie gets screwed again? I'm not going to vote for whoever the Democrats put up there. I'll go Green Party again like I did in 2016. But it seems to me that either we have to reform the Democratic Party or we just need a new party. I mean, that's it. So I'm curious what your take on it is.
Wow.
And that's really all. I mean, that's all I got to say. Really, I'm interested in what you think, because I love your show, and I mean, you're the one. You're the only independent media guy that I support, and I support The Intercept and a couple other things. But you're the only video guy that I actually support with my money.
Wow, brother.
So I appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you as hell. Like hell, man. Thank you so much for the call, man. Virgil, brother, tough call. I think definitely I would never tell you how to spend your vote, right? So this is just my opinion at this point. If it stands the way it is, and let's just say it stays Biden, and it's Biden versus Trump, I believe that Biden's going to get destroyed anyway. But obviously, if it's Bernie, you know where I'm going. In 2016, I voted Green Party as well. I did the same thing you did, right? Proud to do it. Will I do it again? I don't know. But I know whatever I do, because I really haven't dealt with that. Like I haven't put my head in that space yet. But when I do, I'll be vocal about it, man. I was very vocal last time. Cost me a little bit. People pissed off. Couple opportunities dried up, but what the hell, man? It's going to be what it's going to be. Let them be upset. They don't like me anyway. They ain't going to like me more because of anything I do. So I accept my fate. But I tell you this, whatever I do, I'm going to be public about it. I'm going to be loud about it because that's what I do. And it's not going to be made to succumb or to please or placate anybody. It's going to be how I really feel I need to go. So I appreciate you, Virgil. I'm not certain yet, man, but whatever it is, I'll let you know. Wow. Yeah, it is getting about that time. Got to start thinking about these things. 917, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Sam?
Oh, I'm sorry. 413-434. Hold tight, 434. I'll be right back. 917. I'm sorry, 917. The cue moved on me as I was clicking your button. You're live on Freedom Friday. Hey, 917. 917. Okay. Guess I have to skip you and go down to the next call where I just was. Coming right back to you, Mystical. What's going on, man?
What up, Tim? How you doing, baby boy? How you doing?
What's happening, man?
Hey, man. I'm glad you still up and kicking up there, man. I've been hearing a whole lot of chit chatter. You know what I'm saying, with National Guard, Marine National Guard, Fort Lee and all the rest of that, that sits in between me and you. You know what I mean? So I've been trying to, get info so I can relay it to you to make sure you and your family stay safe, you know what I'm saying, with all the going on that's going on. Yeah. Let me start right here. For all the young folks that's out there going out your house, playing pickup basketball games, riding the city bus, taking taxis out there to go play a game with spades and whatnot, when your curfew hit, I just want to let y'all know that especially out here in the state of Virginia, and the surrounding states, they do have an order to make you get back on that bus and take your behind back to the house and to obey the curfew. And the National Guard out here this way is en route to distribute medical supplies and things to the hospitals and help the truckers at the truck stops and whatnot to secure them because people are trying to, unfortunately, acting a fool and trying to rob the 18 wheelers and they got the food and stuff on the back in the trailers, track trailers. So y'all are making this worse than what it has to be. And it ain't got to be this way out here. Y'all, everybody know where the distribution centers are and all of that, and they're fully stocked. But y'all are doing those things, and it's causing them to not be able to stock the shelves on their normal schedule. So y'all out here, they're causing their own problem. Okay, now let me move on. So brother to brother. The young folks out there acting a fool. Get your black ass back in the house. Okay, now. Okay, for everybody else. Everybody stay safe. Get your immune system up. You know what I'm saying? Drink your teas and everything. There's a whole lot of measures and whatnot. And then on the political game, on the political side of the game, it's Tim, you know me, and you know how my mind works. I do not believe for 1 second that some of this virus escaped from the lab, and got mutated and got beyond their control. And I believe that a lot of the corporations are using this to implement and slide in extra bill measures, like what you were talking about earlier. They're tacking on bills behind the stimulus package. The second package that is going to come forth. The state Congress is already trying to aid Donald Trump in producing a second $3 trillion stimulus package coming out of VA and a couple other states. Certain companies they're not going to go back to the way that they were. The biggest things, for people that survive this thing and come good on the back end. Your manufacturing plants, a lot of them are being refitted out here this way. Like the 3Ms, like your Amazon. We got a lot of Amazon plants out here, Walmart plants, things of that nature. They're hiring by the tens of thousands, literally, out this way. Now the thing that now for y'all Midwesterners and your West Coast, then now's the time for y'all to demand that your Congress people that y'all make sure that they get y'all plants and y'all dairy farmers and things of that nature back on code, to where we don't have to worry about import and export shipping costs and things of that nature, to where it can get back to the port. Companies like Purdue, Tyson Farms, your chicken, your turkeys, things of that nature. They got a bid going right now with the local Congress, to get those factory plants back up. Now the local plant, the Gene plant that they used to make clothes out here for Burlington Coat Factory. They got a bid going. They're having some complications because they want them to make the masks and everything. I mean, which is good, but the other plant, their smaller plant, has been taken over. So that's just some things I want to drop in the ear, Tim.
Wow.
Okay. I'm glad you're doing okay, and I hope the people that's listening grasp the things that I brought out, and I hope everybody's safe. You know what I'm saying? I love you, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Appreciate you too, man. Thank you so much for the call as always, Mystical, man. I appreciate it. Good to hear from you. You got it, brother. Wow. Yeah, man. So much going on. It's so much going on, guys. Wow. I'm gonna try to keep it moving and proceed to the next call. I was just trying to go through my notes here. Okay. 1 second, guys. Got to try to keep track, or I'll kind of lose where people are in the queue. 412. There we go. 412. You're next. What's your name? What's your comment? 412.
Hi, Tim. Hi, Wolfpack. It's Uli.
Uli, what's up, sis? Yes.
Cold calling because Steve said I should. But yeah, I have a what you were talking about earlier that I have to share real quick. I had a little story today that also involved a bus driver. We had to go to the hardware store today, because sometimes you just need stuff, and we went to the hardware store, and they have a policy up now where they're only letting 2 people in the store, 10 people into the store. So there's a queue outside the store. One person comes out and another one can go in and stuff. And it was. I'm not gonna lie. We laughed a little. It was kind of trying to make light of the situation. But anyway, so we're standing there waiting, and a guy comes up, and he's all irritated, and he's like, this is such bullshit, blah, 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 blah. And it turns out he's a bus driver. So here's the irony. So here's this guy riding around in a bus all day, having people coughing down his neck all day long, but at the hardware store, he has to stand in line and because they're protecting the workers in the hardware store, and there's not a thing wrong with it, when we walked in, we noticed that they've taken some really great measures to trying to protect the workers. So, but it just struck me. It's like, you know what I mean? There should be a standard set of what needs to be done for everybody who's working right now, and especially if you're dealing, with the public, which I guess that's all the essential people. Like they had a like a plexiglass up in front of her counter when we checked out, so you couldn't, you wouldn't breathe on her and stuff. And I thought that was awesome. And for a bus, I think there should be, a plexiglass keeping the bus driver entirely away from whoever gets on or off that bus. If that's what it takes, that's what it takes. If you want these people to work, if they're so essential, and they are, but then you have to go above and beyond to protect these people. Right. And on that note, since it took a freaking virus to establish who really matters in this country, right? Who do we really need? So I'm begging people, like, I'm not essential. My ass at home right now, like wondering, which bill I'm going to pay and which ones I'm not, because my thought is, well, the banks just got $4 trillion. I lost track. They got trillions of dollars, so they're the first people I ain't going to pay. First I'm going to eat, before they get another penny of me. But anyway, but since we have established who's so important and who's so essential, I'm begging these people who are forced to work right now to not stop at demanding hazard pay and demanding safety gear. Demand once and for all to be paid what you're worth, which is one hell of a lot more than $7.25. I think is the minimum wage here. I guess most people make around $8. Retail workers, they don't make much. But here we need these people. I don't need no whatever. All these administrators, they work from home. Whether they work from home or elsewhere, you hardly notice. But these people got to be there for all of our well-being, and they need to be paid accordingly, and not just now, but always. So, like the big heads, the politicians and the corporatists and whatnot, like they're taking advantage of the situation. They're riding on this coronavirus, putting all kinds of bills and stuff for us that, we're going to have to deal with at some point. But just like they don't leave any crisis, unused, let's make sure that we use this crisis, sad enough as it is and what we have to deal with, but let's not miss this opportunity for us this time, and make sure we pay our essential people an essential living wage. That's it. I hope you all stay healthy. I'm not an anti-feminist. I wrote a little thing about it on the Tim Speak on It group, explaining myself better. Like the first caller said, it's really hard to get in something worthwhile in a few minutes, but we try. We try. You can all call in and try it sometime yourself, and maybe you'll do it all better. But anyway, stay well all,
Not easy.
and enjoy your weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Uli. You're right. It's not easy. It's not easy, man. I'm trying to tell you. And like when you got when you're on the chopping block, sort of. You know what I mean? You're on the phone, and a lot of stuff's running through your head, and people have already talked about stuff, and then you think, oh, let me mention this, and then you don't hit every angle of it that you maybe could have. So I never hold it. I try not to hold it against people. Yeah. 917, are you back? Or are you just not a person talking on the phone? 917. Hello. 917, you're live on Freedom Friday. Okay, I'm just going to assume 917 is a watcher or a listener. Okay? Well, we had those sometime. Then I have another 917. There's two 917. This one's another 917. You're live on Freedom Friday. Hey.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Okay. Hey, Tim, it's Darlene from New York. I'm calling I just been listening, and I just hear, I think that there's something wrong, because when Bernie Sanders came here to New York and I was in that rally with the 30,000 people over here, you're not going to tell me that all these other states he went to, that all them people didn't come out. And there's a reason why they're scared now, that they don't want, I think that they're trying, to keep this election going, to making people vote in Wisconsin. They don't want people to vote by mail, because I believe they're fraud in it, because they show that there was fraud in Texas, there was fraud in California, there was fraud in Iowa, but of course it's not being talked about. But they're scared, because I guess that, if you do it by paper ballot, maybe they can't fraud it as easily. I don't know. But I don't think that all these people coming out, that they didn't come vote. I don't believe that there was just a wave of old people and all these people came to Bernie's rallies. They didn't come out and vote for him in them states. I'm in New York. I haven't had a chance to vote yet, so I want my chance to vote yet. I'm tired of Whoopi talking about the people, they should close it down and everything else, because that's ridiculous. Everybody has the right to vote. So that's just my opinion. I think there's cheating going on, and I wish Bernie would talk about it. I wish everybody would shout about it, because they didn't shout about it in 2016. That's why Hillary Clinton could go on and say, oh, Bernie did this to me. No, you cheated. You cheated, and that's what happened, and nobody wants to talk about it, and I'm tired of it, because everybody knows it. I mean, Donna Brazile wrote about it in her book. They showed Elizabeth Warren when she said it, but nobody else talked about it. Why, I don't know, but that's my comment. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, Anna, who play around. Wow, okay. Yeah. Exit polls, baby. I don't know why people why don't I talk more about exit polls? I think it's we keep thinking we can overcome it, and I don't know if it's possible, honestly. But yeah, like if we all talked about exit polls, game over. There'd be nothing to talk about. Like either fix the fact that exit polls don't line up with the actual vote tally, or there's nothing to talk about. And where do you go from there after you say that? There's nothing to talk about. It's sort of like these people that they don't trust the Republicans, they don't trust the Democrats, and they don't even trust Bernie, independent. And I'm like, well, why are we talking? You sound like an anarchist. I get it. I understand it. I get it. Why are we you don't? Why are you in this conversation? You don't support anything. So I get that. I'm not knocking you for it, but why are you talking about the stuff you don't support? Don't you just go over there? I'm just saying. I mean, you said you're not in it. So, and that's where it kind of gets to, right? And people say they're not involved. Like, I grew up around a lot of people who just weren't political at all, who never voted. Those people who don't vote who like, I hate the system is rigged, it's horrible, don't trust any politicians, they had that attitude, they wouldn't be online talking about politics. Nor would they be like making content talking about something that they'd be talking about sports or fishing or shooting guns or whatever other thing they're into. They would not be like jumping in conversations about a situation and an issue that they don't have any faith in, any belief in, they don't support, and then nobody in it they support, no one in it's good. Like, they would just go do their own thing. But for some reason, we have people that are in, like, if you're in my lane and you hate politics and you hate politicians and no politician is worth shit to you, why are you even talking? I don't know. But there's a whole bunch of people who like that, who are in this. I'm like, go, like, what are you doing? I don't get it. So, and I used to be that way. And when I was that way, I didn't talk about politics. I used to be the same way. I didn't trust politicians. I didn't believe in the system at all. And I was, it's unfixable. Screw these people. And I didn't make content about it. I made content about other stuff. I don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something here, but that's just my opinion. It's not saying fix it. I'm just saying that's just how I see it. 760, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, it's Marta.
Hey.
So here's some bad and here's some good. There's a nursing home not far from here, and I think it's like 75 or more or less residents of this nursing home have COVID, and staff. So 75, maybe more residents and staff have COVID. And these people can't even get in to see their elderly parents. Now, the reason I bring this up is, number one, it just makes me feel sad, and I just think sometimes we need to share things, and, maybe other people can join in and just really keeping these people in our thoughts and prayers, because, who needs thoughts and prayers more than elderly people in a nursing home with COVID? And I'm also thinking about the workers. A lot of times, we forget about the workers. I know not you and not your listeners, but how many of these healthcare workers at this nursing home are making minimum wage, no health insurance, no sick leave, or no paid sick leave at least, and they're going to work sick. And, maybe they don't even know they're sick, but they end up, contaminating or passing it on to people, and or getting sick from, people. And they can't even stay home. They don't have sick leave. They're making minimum wage. And that's what's going on. And, my solution is Medicare for all. It's not 100% perfect for everyone, but, I think part of it is probably to treat the healthcare workers with the respect they deserve. And the other thing is Medicare for all would provide home health care. So people wouldn't have to leave their homes, bankrupt their savings account, go into some Medicaid, funded nursing home where the purveyor, the owner of the nursing home is a corporation, and they're paying their employees minimum wage and no benefits. And then they're, giving the worst kind of horrible food to the elderly. And my brother was dying, and so I've seen these places. I think he was at the nursing home where all this is happening. So it really touches my heart. But Medicare for all would include home health care for people that don't need to be in a nursing home. They can stay in their own home. They can have somebody help them to the shower and the bathroom and change their bedding. So that's just one thing that just comes to mind for me. Now, the good, there's a local lady who sewed 200 masks for people in the health, nurses and doctors. And I found out about it on Facebook, local Facebook page. And I had read that, if you're going to make your own mask, the best fabric is a Micron filter vacuum cleaner bag. And you can't make the whole mask with it because they're kind of stiff. But this woman who made 200 masks on her sewing machine, she made them with these little pouches so you could put in something, take it out, throw it away. And so I got in touch with her through Facebook, and I said, I got all these vacuum cleaner bags in my garage, and I read that that's the best thing for, homemade mask. And so anyway, so then somebody else on Facebook is a hospice nurse. And she has no masks. And she had one elderly man. She thought he had COVID and he died. And she's working without a mask. So I got her and her aides 3 masks. I donated the vacuum cleaner bags, and I got her and her healthcare workers mask. We met in a parking lot in our cars and said hello, and I gave her the mask, and it was an amazing thing. And I got a mask too, so I still don't want to go in the grocery stores, but I got this mask, and I can cut out part of a vacuum cleaner bag and stick it in there and toss it out and throw it away. But that's, I wanted to share something good. And also our local Chamber of Commerce, they had a Zoom meeting today. I'm not even in the chamber, but I was allowed to participate. And they're helping us. I'm self-employed, and they're helping us to get the SBA loan. And there's a $10,000 advance that you don't have to pay back. So they're helping me figure out, it's not that difficult. Go on SBA, apply for the loan that's 3.5%. You can pay it back the next month. In the meantime, you get a $10,000 advance. Now you have to, have your tax return or that you can show that you're actually a business, So I don't have the 2019 taxes, but I can at least, provide that I am a business. It would have to probably be my 2018 taxes. I don't know. But at any rate, there's people that are out there helping. I have an integrative medicine doctor, and she says, we're not going to get rid of this virus. You'll have to protect your immune system. You have to take care of your immune system. Soup, salad, smoothies, and smiles. Don't just do politics. Watch comedies. Take your A's and B, A vitamins and all that, D vitamins. And so there's a lot of good, but I respect you so much because we can't give up on Bernie. There's 27 states left to vote. Why are we letting them make us think it's over? Why this defeatism? He's fighting for the workers. He's actually fighting for the workers and all the people. But he's actually talking about, the workers too. What other politician does that? So he hasn't given up on us. Why should we give up on him? So that's my last word. Nobody's perfect. He doesn't walk on water, but he's the FDR of our generation, in my opinion.
Thank you so much for your phone call, sister. I appreciate it. And so much great information in that call as well. I feel bad even letting you go because, there were people want to know. If you got Twitter, please give that information about the SBA loans to Crystal Ball, because Crystal Ball was asking of people what has been their experience trying to find out about those loans for small business people. I would hate to take on that, man. That's like the thing.
I'm going to have to check out Twitter then.
But I don't want to take on any debt, man. I can't do it. I can't do it. We gotta stay. No, man. Wow. Wow. Anyway, let me go to the next call. Thank you so much once again. Oh man, the mask and the vacuum cleaner filters and the story. And in fact, shout out to Kevin Ronka from Right Brain Studios, brother. I love you, man. You're a good man. Definitely. You and your amazing wife, and you do amazing things. And I'm not going to say anything else, but except you know it. Text me and let me know, because I sent you a text. So let me know about what you know. All right. 111. You're live. Freedom Friday 111. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello. Hello. 111. Got a 111 call in the queue with a 11111. That's you. All right, I'm about to move on. 470. You're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's up, Tim Black?
Dave, what's up, brother?
Oh, hell's breaking loose, that's all.
Yeah, it is.
Look, I just wanted to state real quick of all the people out there, I think this epidemic has really brought up something that a lot of us don't confront, is that we should all be prepared for something like this, and pretty much none of us are. We should all already have had a couple of months' worth of food stashed away, cans and stuff like that. We should all already be growing vegetables and have fruit trees like pears and apples and stuff like that. I mean, all it's going to take is a couple of key states that produce fruits and vegetables for them farm workers that already get treated like hell.
Yep.
You get a couple of them key places out, and the demand's already high, and then you get the production down because all them people get sick, and you're going to have a hard time finding that stuff if you're producing 20, 30, 40 vegetables a month. That's 20, 30 less you got to buy that somebody else can get, so everybody should already be doing that. But that's not why I called. I just wanted to mention that. There's a lot of I'm not sure how to bring this subject up. I don't like bringing up other people on your show.
It's all good,
but
man.
there's a certain guy out there raising hell like Bernie.
Oh.
And look, I mean, I understand his frustration. I don't appreciate the way he's talking about our boy. I get some of his points. I think Bernie really wasn't ready for the last debate. I mean, Joe Biden lied half a dozen times right to his face, and America should have called him out. I mean, you got to think, if Trump's with him on the stage like that, he's going to call him out and have Joe stutter and walk. He's going to have Joe walk off the stage frustrated. Trump's not going to let that stuff go. You got Trump out. I mean, Trump's talking about having hospitals reimbursed from the government for patients. I mean, he's out-lefting Joe Biden. I mean, he really is. So, although I don't appreciate all the hate, I understand where some of it's coming from. I mean, Bernie is not leading this thing the way he should. I mean, this election's over. I mean, unless a miracle I can't even imagine could happen that would help Joe Biden win, Trump, all the things that Bernie Sanders keeps letting go, Trump is not going to let go and beat him. And I don't know, Tim, nobody, other than people like Peter Dow or Ryan Knight or John Cusack, those people will vote for Joe, but I'm not. Nobody I know is. I don't think you are as of yet, although that may change. I don't know. But for the most part, nobody on the – I mean, I know thousands of people that I connect with through other people, and none of them want to vote for Joe. Even the stats say 15% of Bernie supporters won't vote for Joe. That's a nice little chunk of people. But look, man, I don't agree with the hate. You never know what's going behind the scenes. The granddaughter of John F. Kennedy died they've been disappeared and missing and presumed dead. How many people out of that family have had weird accidents like that? I mean, their entire gene pool's been decimated, and it was after John F. Kennedy tried to take on the establishment, so you never know what's going on behind. They could be threatening to put Bernie Sanders' kids in jail, to kill his family. I mean, these people do not care about him or us. I mean, I don't think anybody anticipated the entire field dropping out at once and endorsing Joe Biden, and then Warren not endorsing him. Even Tulsi Gabbard dropped out and endorsed Biden halfway through. Andrew Yang dropped out and endorsed Biden and joined CNN. I mean, every single person in the race did everything they could to make sure Bernie couldn't win. So, but look, I mean, if I don't know what to say, but Bernie needs. I mean, he's trying to track Joe down to go to another debate, and I'm having trouble figuring out why. Because if he makes the same performance he did last time, there's no sense in having one. I mean, he needs to bring the brimstone. But look, there's no way this is such a complex issue, but I did want to bring it up, Tim, and maybe you want to take it a little farther. Maybe somebody else wants to call, but yeah. I mean, maybe this is a conversation we need to have. But, I mean, half the election's still going. Like, he needs to call them out for trying to give states fewer delegates who are trying to wait. They're doing the right thing. The people are dying, and Joe Biden is telling people to go vote, and Bernie's not calling it out. He should be flame-throwing these people. So, yeah, I'm going to get off here and maybe let you say a couple words later or something, but that's what's up, Tim. I appreciate you letting me have a voice.
All right now. Hey, Dave, I feel you, man. Yeah, I heard Bernie call Joe out for that. Maybe not the way, definitely not the way that some people would like him to call it out. I thought Bernie won the last debate personally. Guess some people don't think he did. In most debates, if you catch a person lying on national TV, their campaign would be over. But, because it's so rigged up, it wasn't over. I mean, that's the thing that kind of gets me is that people act like if Bernie just did this one thing, that would change everything. It doesn't matter if Bernie catches him dead to rights on a national debate and proves he's lying, and then the fact checker say, yeah, he was lying, and then they don't talk about it anymore. There's nothing you could do about that. Anybody else would be done. Right? I think people just have it in here because of what Trump was able to do. Did they think all you got to do is do what Trump did and then you'll win? That's what they think. I don't believe that's the way it works. The Republican Party was not, obviously the Republican Party was nowhere near as together, as strategic, and as cutthroat as the Democratic Party. Why come people, I don't understand why people don't put that in the mix and say that, yeah, the more ruthless party is the Democrats, obviously. Because nobody wanted Trump. But they didn't make sure that Trump lost. They didn't have everybody get behind Jeb. They kept the field the way it was. Think about the difference. Let's just think about the difference in it. And God, man, I'd like to know who in the Bernie Sanders campaign allegedly is talking to Big Mouth. I'd like to know who that is. Because Big Mouth didn't have any of the stuff to say that he's saying. He had none of that stuff to say about his candidate, who he went around the country supporting. Nothing. Gave her cakewalk interviews. So, I don't know, just interesting. But, yeah, I think, and my thing, guys, is just that it's going to take all of us to up in this system. It ain't going to just be one person. I think it's laughable to think that's all it would ever take is one person. It's going to take all of us. When you look at other countries and what they do, it's never just one person. I mean, they killed MLK. They killed Malcolm X. They killed Kennedy. Like, they just kill people. It'll take all of us, not just one person. And we got, I think a lot of it, to me, in my opinion, a lot of it is people just looking for a payday. Because if you're that dumb to think that it's just one person, it's like you look at one person and blame him for the entire Senate. If you would just say this, then everything would change. No, it wouldn't change. It wouldn't change. He would just never get a platform again. That's how that works. They would just say, fuck you, get off our platform, never invite them back again. They do it all the time. They do it all the time. What would they do differently? Yeah, and blah, 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 blah. One last thing. I remember when, so this idea that you say all this stuff and you just empty out your chest and yell and spit and scream, and then they bite you back the next week. What world is that? What world is that? Look, and then always starting it off by saying, you didn't come on my show. I don't know. I remember when I was going on this show, right? I was going on the show, and it was like, yo, you need to call them out. It's like, it's pre-taped. They won't air it. If I do, they just won't air it, dummy. Think. You trying to get me to destroy opportunities when they won't even make the air. That's a good question. Is this live? It's like somebody was like giving me advice like, you need to do this, need to do this, do that. Yeah, but when you did it, you were live, dude. Being live, so it's a lot of like, yeah, on the debate stage, yeah, that's an opportunity that's live. They might have a little delay, but they will let you get some stuff out. But what happened after that person did that? They were never invited back on again, and it's been a decade. It's been a decade since they went on a live show and said a bunch of stuff. It's been 10 years. And you know what they had to do? They had to go to Russian TV to get a platform. They haven't been back on a single solitary thing in a decade after they did that. And I'm just keeping it real. That's what happens. Now, if you want that route, if that's the route you want to go, it's much easier when you're not in Congress, you're not in the Senate, and you're actually not a part of making things happen for people. You're not actually doing anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're in a position where you're able to affect change and help people, and then you give that all up for a moment of shining, just to end up being obscure afterwards, we all miss that from you for eternity, that thing that you were providing. So I think there does, and someone said, Tim's an incrementalist. Like, fuck you, man. You're an idiot. I'm an incrementalist? Jesus Christ. So anyway, I'm going back to the next call. I disagree that it's a very I disagree that it's as easy as people make it seem, and I disagree that the outcomes are going to be as rosy as people paint it. And I just don't think the outcomes would. You like to believe, the guy attacks you, and you just take his gun out of his hand and you shoot him with it, and then you go, you just call the cops, and it's all good. What more than likely what's happened is you go to grab the gun, he shoots you and kills you. I mean, that's usually what happens, right? But people have in their heads that this miraculous move will create this other thing that they've never done before. They never even saw it done before. But to them, it's so simple. It's just easy. And why don't you just do that? And that's why when I push back, it's like, let's stop pretending that we know what the outcome would be. I'm not saying you're wrong, that we can't try different shit, but I'm an able-bodied person, so are you. What are we going to do? Who got next? You got next? You got next, Big Mouth? Hey, about you, Big Mouth. How about you? Stop saying that you're incapable. You're just as capable as anybody else, bro. You sounding like those people want our kids to go over and fight for wars and get blown the fuck up while you sit home talking about you can't go. No, you want war, let's go. What you going to do? What am I going to do? What are we going to do? Not just like, what's this person going to do and how they failed us. What are we going to do? You got this big platform. You got it. What are you going to do? Yelling at him is not doing shit. Get what I'm saying? Yelling at Bernie is not actually doing anything. You doing something would be doing something. And then I would respect it more. That makes sense to anybody? I mean, there are some activists that I've known. I used to work for Acorn. We used to work on cleaning up neighborhoods in Washington, D.C. I used to actually go door to door in some of the roughest neighborhoods in D.C., helping people clean up their backyards. They were doing illegal dumping, all types of horrible things they were doing in these communities. And then it was redlining. We were combating redlining, having interviews about that and all the stuff we were doing. I was actually doing something. I've never heard these people talk about anything they actually done. What they talk about is what other people should do. And all I'm saying is maybe we need to do some shit. Who's with me on doing something? Because yelling at that guy because that guy's not doing enough for you, and you're there and you have money and power, or money and reach and connections, and you've been on the biggest podcast show in the world or in the country, and all you do is go back to doing that and yelling at that guy, that's something's a disconnection. And even bringing it up makes people not like me. They don't even like me to rain on their parade and say this shit. They like that better. They like yelling at that guy. They think that is more productive than me saying, hey, you're 25 years younger than him. What you want to do? That's wrong to say. They unsubscribe, they unfollow, they unmembership because I say that. They like it better for that guy to just yell and spit and curse out that guy and do nothing. And I don't see how that's helpful. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe, like I said, hey, like maybe I don't know anything. But I know when I was living in the streets of D.C., at 17 years old, and I didn't know where I was going to sleep, I had to get shit done. And I didn't just yell about what somebody else was going to do. And when I was a father at 21, and it was me and my wife and the baby, I didn't just yell about what that guy's going to do. And I know when I was struggling in between jobs, I didn't just have this rich friend who I could go make $500,000 on this show and get everybody covered and get a leg up and get all this other shit. I never had that. I just had to get it done. And when I looked at this thing that I built, and I said, when it was nothing, when there was no one watching it, and I had to build it from scratch with nothing, with no one knowing me, I couldn't just look over there and get help and yell at that guy. So what I'm saying is, if we agree that no one's perfect, but if we agree we're all capable, what are we going to do besides point at that guy and say, why haven't you done more? That's all. But that's crazy talk, apparently. That's incrementalism talk. That's grifter talk. It's toxic. He's bad for the movement. He's bad for what we're doing. It's horrible. It's bad. It's dishonest. It's disloyal. It's backstabbery. It's fuckery. And it's for money. And no one can change my opinion of that. I'm going to go to the next call. Damn it, Dave. Why'd you bring that up? 417.
Hey, this is Daryl Sauer calling from Joplin, Missouri. I'm going to kind of hammer home. I was hoping it'd be me next because I'm going to kind of hammer home the point that you just made on that tangent. So I've got just a few points to go through where I've been seeing things come up in the news, and I read through articles thinking, yeah, but this, and my perspective just isn't there. So
90 seconds.
First off, Pelosi, she is leading Congress, forcing us to give money to our employers who are laying us off, us as a whole, laying us off, putting us on furloughs, putting us part-time, things that will kick us off of benefits effectively, especially healthcare benefits. So she's effectively using our taxpayer money to give to large corporations
60 seconds
to our neighbors, giving to the people, as it would be. Mm-hmm. So we've got while she's forcing us to give loans to our employers that are laying us off, she's also wagging her fingers at us, saying, "Hey, we need to give more to charitable donations, charitable causes like your neighbor's GoFundMe." So let me get this straight. You could take my money that I gave to the government and help my neighbor, but instead you're helping the employer who's laying off my neighbor and then wagging your finger back at me saying that, hey, you need to help your neighbor over there that got laid off. Doesn't make any sense. And I think Joe Biden is taking that logic and running with it, because he's saying that even if by some miracle Bernie gets Medicare for all through both
10 seconds.
sets of Congress, right, the House and the Senate, and it goes to him and he's president and it's up to him, he's still going to veto that bill. He said that in an interview, right, recently, that he would still veto Medicare for all. But Obamacare, I saw that mentioned, but nobody challenged him that Obamacare forces you to pay a penalty when you don't have insurance. So these people who are getting laid off, and we've got 6.6 million people in a quarter. It was the largest filing of unemployment ever in a quarter. And where's the state workers to process it? They're not working because their offices are shut down.
Wow.
So you got all this backlog that's just going to complicate things. And meanwhile, he wants all these people who are who don't have a job, don't have health care because they don't have a job, can't file for unemployment and state benefits because there's no one there to process it. You guys all owe us a penalty with what money? With what money? So it's a whole lot of finger wagging and not a lot of doing, and that's the leadership on the left. The leadership on the right, you've got Kyle Kulinski just posted a video that I saw today. I think he just dropped it today, and I can't remember the title of it. But he was talking about there was a 2017 military. I forget the branch. Sorry about that, but there was a branch of the military in 2017 that composed a list of the largest threats to America. The number one threat to America, shocker, wasn't terrorism. It wasn't Mexicans, hopping the border, we need a fence and all that. It was COVID virus. They said the number one threat was a potential strand of the COVID virus, which this is COVID-19, so there are plenty. And they in particular pointed out a lack of respirators throughout the U.S., lack of masks, and in particular severe lack of respirators. That was 2017. That was a year after the election, or being kind. It was the first year of Trump's presidency. He was just new, but yet that was 3 years ago. So Kyle had, mentioned a few more things on his video, saying that, well, part of it's the Obama administration to blame, but I think that's being too kind. It's the current administration had plenty of time to prep, didn't prep, just accept the fault there. So we have a lack of leadership on both sides, and I'm completely with you that, unless we get some miracle Bernie presidency, I don't see it ending well with what I believe to be Biden and Vice President Bloomberg, or Bloomberg Biden, one way or the other. Right. Because, like you said, it was $18 million that he gave. You don't just hand 18. He gave $300,000 and bought his way onto a debate stage. So what do you think 18 million is going to get him? Maybe 500 super delegates. There's 539, something like that. Wow. He's going to buy the super delegates. And between what he has, what he's going to buy, and what Biden's going to get, there's your nomination. Wow. They don't have to go to a barter convention or broker convention and all of that. Pass just, hey, by the way, Bloomberg supported Bloomberg plus Biden equals, here's your win. Here's your 991 delegates. So that's what I think is going to happen. We don't have leadership on either end, regardless. And the one thing I want to point out going forward, because I love your show, been watching since I first saw you do like some kind of a guest spot on Young Turks, so it's been a while. That's back when Jimmy Dore was still on Young Turks. It's been a long time. But going forward, Jimmy Dore has been bringing up and screaming at the top of his lungs, cursing up the storm about rent strikes, mortgage strikes, credit strikes, all forms of worker strikes. The lady that was on earlier was very informative about the perspective I didn't take notice of, which is hospice and different forms of medical care that are paid minimum wage. Hospice being a main one, but also people that go house to house for in-home care. Because even though those people are pretty pent up in their homes to begin with, those people are traveling house to house, place to place, and they're paid next to minimum wage, if not minimum wage. And you think they got good health care? I mean, which is ironic because they work in the health field. So people like that do need to go on strike. If there was ever a time for it, it's now.
All right,
because
Daryl.
the
I
most
got to leave
dire
it there,
need is
Daryl.
now.
I got to leave it there, man, because of time. But thank you so much for changing the subject and keeping it moving. I appreciate it. 269, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim. This is Allison.
Hey, Allison.
How
what's
are
on?
ya?
Hey, Allison. Go right ahead.
Oh my God, I'm so happy to get through.
All right.
I live in Michigan, over Kalamazoo, Michigan. And I wanted to ask you if you had heard about Nancy Pelosi appointing Jim Clyburn to the oversight committee of how to spend the money that they are giving to the corporations.
No, I hadn't heard about that.
Yes, she handpicked him. You think there was a little deal in there in South Carolina, maybe?
I don't know. Wow.
Anyway, so look into that. I've been a Bernie supporter and volunteer, and I think I am going to phone bank for him, but I lost all 3 of my jobs. I haven't had health care, and if I do contract this virus, which I'm young and healthy, but I wouldn't go to the doctor because I can't afford $35,000 in bills with no job. So anyway, I'm figuring it out. I'm trying to teach by Skype. I teach Pilates, and so I'm helping people stay healthy at home and doing the best I can, taking care of my 2 kids. But it's rough out here. But I'm Bernie all the way, and I'm going to phone bank for them. But I can't donate anymore, unfortunately, because I don't have an income.
Sure.
But I think I'm just going to run for office because I care about people, and he makes me cry every time he talks because you can tell he just cares. And I wanted to say I think he is handling himself wonderful because he has class when he deals with people, and that is a really rare thing. And he's just a true leader inside and out. And I just love you. I think you are too. So if you ever run for office, you got my vote.
Wow, Allison, thank you so much for the call, sister. And I'm sure Bernie Sanders would understand, definitely, that you got to stop donating. Please take care of yourself and those 2 great kids. And thank you for calling up. And stay strong, sister. Stay strong. It's real life stuff, man. Real stuff people going through, man. Real stuff. Oh, boy. 269. 512. You're live, 512. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim.
Hey, what's up?
This is Sophia. I called Tuesday.
Yes.
Was it Wednesday or Tuesday that you went on?
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Okay, yeah. So I probably sounded a little Joe Biden-ish. I just have anxiety, and I don't know, it kind of got the best of me. But you know how they always use that as an excuse of
Joe Biden-ish? Joe Biden-ish? No, you were better than Joe. You were better than Joe, Sophia.
I may ramble, but at least I kind of had a whole point to what I was saying. I came around instead of just going off into Wonderland.
So, yeah.
But on the Biden note, to say that I am just really shocked at the reaction to this sexual assault case. It's almost like a parody of, I just don't even know. It's like, the Onion level stuff.
Crickets.
And they, how can CNN or anyone not talk about that? It's actually straight up giving victims that have, like PTSD, they're actually struggling right now, like genuinely. You can go like on Reddit and stuff like support groups, and women, they're really struggling right now. And it's so like, I mean, how do you not say on some level it's diabolical? Like, I mean, just look at Joe Biden encouraging people to go vote in Wisconsin. Like, I mean, and also in other states, he just doesn't think that, it matters that if people die, people die. As long as he gets to be the president, who cares?
Wow.
And also, on Andrew Yang, how can you sit there and support Biden after what happened to his wife? Like, Tim, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, good point.
Okay. But, I mean, how do you think his wife feels right now? It's honestly, like, I mean, basically every single one of my friends, they're actually victims, surprisingly enough. But at the same time, that's just how common it is. And half of them, they've tried to tell, only, to fail. I actually know someone who took this guy all the way, like, she went through court. Her parents even stood there with her. They went through the court process, and, he got away with it. And turns out he was the Sutherland Springs shooter.
Wow.
If they would have done something, if the justice system, if it wasn't so corrupt, all those people wouldn't be dead. And one thing I wanted to hit on Joe Biden, on his whole little gun control affliction that he has. People don't really think about the whole crime bill and the whole the concept of stopping frisk. It was to get guns off of minorities because of gun control, because they didn't want people to murder each other. That's where it's rooted in. And, Bernie, I mean, obviously he's not going to try to use that as an excuse. They'll, beat him to death for trying to use any sort of black issue to explain his, beliefs on gun control back in the day. But it was really used to, oppress, to say the least, putting it in light words, minorities and black people. I mean, that's why Malcolm X felt the way he did. So I just, it's just very, very disturbing at this point at how deep this whole corrupt system goes. I mean, I watched CNN, funny enough, after the last, terrible primary we had, and how they have like that discussion at that, round table all night long. And into the later hours, I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. There's this guy, he has like gray hair and glasses. He looks really nerdy, and he always has a laptop. You know who I'm talking about?
No, I don't. John Oliver? I don't know. No, I don't know.
Well, you might see him sometime on there, but he was saying, he let out a little blurb about Yang being real friendly with Biden at like the South Carolina debates and, on. And they actually had to get on Yang for talking to Biden too much and needed to do his job. And he, this guy said this, trying to say, like, I don't want to, violate, any sort of privacy, but, and then he just let loose. And then he drops another bomb. They're talking about Biden having a path to win and it being, inevitable. And he starts talking about, it would be terrible, if something, were to happen to Biden and this is what really got me. and he said, or something to come out about him, basically come out about him. So he basically admitted that there's dirt on Biden that to come out and take him out of the race easily.
Wow.
And it's really funny. You see these little slips on CNN sometimes, and I just feel like with this whole rape thing, people need to be kind of more, positive about this, because we have to remember, we just have to keep pushing this rape story, because we have to shame them. We have to shame them into reporting on this. And once they do, it will be over. But we just have to do our job and keep making people aware. And it's also, with respect, not only to Tara, but it's to victims all around, because they need that validation. I think people should have faith right now. I think Bernie, if Bernie tried to touch on that, it would be disastrous. He needs somebody to basically stand up for him, but more so back up what he would then respond to. To already have some facts and have somebody who is, reputable to make a stand, and then he can go off of that once it's already, sort of a big deal. And people need to realize that. He just can't go after Biden on some of this stuff because of the way the media works.
Wow. Well, look, Sophia, I thank you for the phone call system. Glad you called in. And, wow. I agree with that. I agree that it's up to journalists to do journalism work. And then, yeah. And look, I understand it. Yeah. Man. I don't know, man. Thank you. I'm going to go to the next call. I got a 11111 number in the queue. 111, you're live. How you doing?
Thank you so much. Hello, I'm doing fine, thank you. Adam from California, Costa Mesa, and always a lot to talk about. I'll start with, I guess, the exit polls and why it's not, it wasn't, I think what separates people like you and from Jimmy Dore in a way is that Jimmy Dore has taken the mantra of the left. He's taken the chances on saying things like, there's cheating going to be going on. And that's a legitimate narrative. And you've taken the idea that I believe, and I don't like to put words in people's mouths, but that at least I have, that until things reveal themselves, until the elections start and the exit polling shows that you can't really go in that direction, or else you're marginalized, immediately characterized as not being legitimate, and you're delegitimized. And I guess that's all I'm going to really say. I do. Thank you so much. I wish you good night. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the phone call, man. We talked about election integrity full stop in 2016. I was on panels for election integrity. We've had these conversations about election integrity. You're right, I haven't gone into it much this cycle. There are other shows that cover that almost exclusively, and I support those shows. But I feel you, man. I'm just going to stay on point and go to my next caller. 646. Hey, how you doing? You're live Freedom Friday. (646). Okay. 325, you're live Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Man, you know what the fuck this is, man. No need for panic. Shantez is in the house.
What's going on, man?
Yo, Tim, you know they say the definition of insanity is doing the same shit over and over again and expecting a different result. So I'm trying to figure out what's going on, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm weirded out. Maybe I'm slowing ahead. I pride myself on being educated, but maybe you and the callers in the chat room can help me out. What the fuck is going on, man?
Man, it's crazy, dog. What's on your mind, man? There's so much to talk about.
Bro, you know, I'm watching clips of The View. I'm listening to Roland Martin, and I'm trying to figure out why we got a minstrel show going on for my boy Biden. And it's funny because if you think about it, I'm gonna name some people, man. You got Fred Hampton. I'm sorry. Yeah. Fred Hampton, I apologize.
No problem.
Martin Luther King, JFK, Bobby Kennedy, Malcolm X. Yeah. And these same people that shit on Bernie, they praise those 5 people, right? Yeah. Oh, Martin Luther King was a great human being. He was an all-American. Motherfucker, they was all socialists. They was all socialists. You shit on Bernie, but you praise these 5 people who was all socialists and telling you about the moderate. Telling you about the moderate is worse than a racist person.
Yeah.
But you praise it. And you shit on a person who is trying their damnedest to try to help out people. Like people like me. Check this out, Tim. My boss came up to me and was like, yo, man, I'm going to send everybody home to further notice because it's coronavirus. So I'm hearing, different stories. We may be back at work in June, maybe July. Rent's due on the fucking 1st, though.
Word.
So you got Whoopi Goldberg, Charlamagne the God, Roland Martin, who I used to like. They shitting on Bernie. My rent's due on the 1st. Them niggas ain't got shit to worry about because they got money. What about me? What about us? What about the people in the chat room? What about you, Tim? Do they give a fuck about us? Do they care about us if we pay our rent, our phone bills? Because they still calling. They still sending you text messages. Yo, your bill's due. Meanwhile, I ain't worked in 3 weeks. Almost a month.
Damn.
And then, we living in this, weird world where it's like a movie, you know what I'm saying? Like this shitty Mystery 3000 sci-fi movie where you have this virus going around, niggas walking around with masks on, you got this crazy dictator. Meanwhile, you got the guy that's telling you, yo, the fucking pandemic's coming, but niggas is not listening to him because he got nappy hair and a stack of papers. That's how I feel about Bernie. People shitting on my mans, and they propping up Biden, who can't even fucking get through a speech without a teleprompter and some papers, which goes to show you this nigga ain't passing about nothing he talking about. Because think about it. If you passionate about anything you talk about, you don't even need a teleprompter, Tim, because you're speaking from the heart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you know you love something and you for something, I don't need no motherfucking papers. I don't need no teleprompter. I don't need no aid because it's coming from my motherfucking heart. So that goes to show you that this motherfucker full of shit anyway. And then he sits up there and says, I'm going to give everybody the right to buy in. If you like your employer's insurance, you can keep that. All right, tell that to the people that's laid off right now, Biden. Come out with a speech and say, you know what, dog? I know I said that y'all can keep y'all employees' insurance, but since you laid off, hey, well, yeah, it is what it is, motherfucker. Be real about your shit. If we had Medicare for all, we wouldn't have to worry about it. But like I said, Tim, I'm not going to hold you up, man. You got some good callers. I got to call in and fuck with you, man, because you're looking spiffy, man. You got your head shining and shit. Got your fucking Wolfpack shirt on. Doing your thing. Oh, by the way, I got my boy Albert Hardy Jr. listening. I've been talking to people about this show. So everybody in the chat room, give a shout out to Albert Hardy Jr. saying that's your homework assignment. Next week, get a fucking coworker, a friend, a family member to listen to this show because we're gonna kill these motherfuckers with numbers, yo. Right. We're gonna fucking organize. We're gonna get this wolf pack strong. We're gonna get motherfuckers united, and we're gonna take these people out. Because at the end of the day, fuck Joe Biden, fuck the minstrel show. Chat room, I love y'all niggas. Keep it up, Tim.
Thank you, brother. Keep up the good work, bro. I appreciate you, man. Let me give a shout out to your guest, Albert Hardy Jr., man. Thank you, Albert, for being here, man. We appreciate you, man, and it's all love. And we got to, we just got people, real people. There's real folks that call up to this show, and everybody's welcome. So thank you for being here, man. And thank you, caller, my brother, man. Thank you, Rez, for calling up, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, man, like when you talked about your financial situation, bro, all I could think was, you know, Bernie made them put certain amendments in this bill. Horrible bill, right? Horrible bill. Gave corporations way more money, like, and no strings, dude. It's horrible, right? But if there was no Bernie on that bill, there are a lot of people who wouldn't get anything. And I got people who won't even acknowledge that. And then I got people that won't even hold him accountable for not acknowledging that. And it really frustrates the hell out of me, man. But I'll tell you this, I am thinking, how do we expand and where do we take the Wolfpack from here? And I would like for there to be a form of community, a way within my community that I'm building with my folks, with the Wolfpack, that we are able to help one another. You know what I'm saying? Like we could be able to give people, you know, money, way to like sort of have each other's back financially, and we have like a pot, and like sort of like, you know, a community would do. Like you can't eat, we're gonna make sure you eat. You don't have paper towels, we're gonna make sure you have paper towels. Like, I'm just thinking about things we can do besides pointing over there and going, this guy ain't doing enough for us. Oh, what are we going to do? Oh, I know. Let's everybody yell at him. And meanwhile, like you said, your rent's due. Meanwhile, I got seniors who are afraid to go out to get their groceries and can't afford to have them delivered. Meanwhile, I got Rev Marie, who was a chaplain up at the hospital, who can't even give people their last rites because she can't go in a room because she don't have a mask. She's giving people their last rites outside the door. And I got people yelling about what this guy's not doing while all this is going on. And people cheer for that because obviously they don't have regular problems like people dying and you can't even see them. They're not driving the bus like my brother is, with people who are probably infected getting on a freaking bus. So there are things to yell about. I just choose what I yell about. So we're gonna get to a point where we're gonna strategize what our next moves are gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And that is what I believe is the way forward. You feel me? But anyway, thank you guys for being here. I'm going to go to the next call. 425. How you doing, 425? You live? Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Papa Wolf. How you doing? It's Chad from Seattle.
Hey, what's up, Chad?
Hey, yep, just trying to survive it. Yeah, man, that dude that just called in, that was pretty much soul candy, man. I was like loving every single bit of that, like it was an ice cream cone in the middle of summer, in the middle of park, pre-COVID era. Because that was just exactly what everybody needs to be saying out there. Because that's exactly it. What about us?
Yeah.
You know, I got a job here in Seattle, and I feel really incredibly lucky because, you know, I have the opportunity to work from home, and I had been before all of this had been going on. And now that everybody's working from home, a part of my job is helping to make sure that everybody that is now at home is pretty much on the rock and steady with their jobs. And, you know, I get to hear a lot of stories from people out there. And it's not exactly, you know, ice cream and cake or anything. I mean, here in Seattle, you know, if I go outside my door, I have to pretend like I live on the moon. And this is my moon habitat. And if I go outside that door, I'm wearing my spacesuit. I went for a mental walk, just around the block, you know, check things out, take a look around. It's awful quiet out there as it is. And I got to the end of my driveway, and there's puke at the end of it. So as you can imagine, I'm like, Danger Will Robinson, right? I'd stop, pause, like I heard the rattler outside in the bushes, like a rattlesnake was about to bite me in the ass. I had to backtrack that shit up, go all the way back to my front door, get back inside, decontaminate, go into that shower, wash my motherfucking hands, and I miss what my face feels like. It's psychologically impressionable around here because it's not a joke, and that guy's totally on the money. And I just hope that everybody's keeping safe out there. And we talked a little bit about what's going on out there as it is, and I appreciate you for that. But I didn't want to take up too much time in case there's a whole backup on the train here of callers coming in.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of these people out there are hurting, and they're pretty much on the outs. And I think that this is an opportunity while we are at home, while everybody is focused in more on the family, what impacts that may have with everybody involved, that there's a chance to actually have a collective consciousness to get on the same page. Everybody has their own ideas on how that's going to go and what they think about that, what Bernie should be doing, who said, what was said, when it was said, what Twitter feed they're following, how that was ridiculous, and how much of an ass they're making out of themselves. But this is a ruling class, and they are ruthless. They took power, and they took it at one point 30 plus years ago. You know, you've got some objectiveness with what goes on the upper echelon, depending on who's looking at it. But when you look at us here on this level, this is what we all know. So this is Medicare for All's opportunity. Yeah. I mean, we even got Trump considering.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be the full gambit, of course, but it might be enough to hush puppy some people. It might be able to rustle through some votes. And this is, you know, the new ruling class. You know, these guys are brutal. They rule the world, and they've got all the money in the world, too. So this is a chance for all of us, and I just wanted to, you know, like, appreciate you. Had some trouble calling in before, probably have noticed that, but I really do appreciate your show, dude. So you guys keep it rocking and rolling, get that collective consciousness going, and talk to your peoples.
Thank you, Chad, for the phone call, man. I appreciate it, man, and thank you for. And hey, look, be safe, brother. Seattle, man, hit hard, brother. I was watching a segment about Seattle, so please be safe, man. You know, I've don't get me wrong, I don't wanna get sick, right? And I'm sure no one else wants to get sick. But I got a feeling, man, it could happen, man. I could definitely get sick. I mean, it's just reality, man. And then I'm like, you know, anybody else like processing it that way now? I'm starting to look at it, man. I'm hearing about people who are about my age or a little older who are not surviving this. And just real talk, I mean, I want you guys to know that whatever happens with this thing, because, dude, like the way it is, you get sick, you go to the hospital, you don't come home. Right? So it might not even be an opportunity to say anything. I'm hearing stories of people not even being able to say goodbye. So whatever, if that were to happen, I just want to be on the record and just say, I want this to continue. And my wife has all the credentials, and we wouldn't just let this. It's my life's work. We wouldn't just let this go. So just know that, all right? And I'm gonna go to the next call. Like this is real stuff, man. We have to be honest and open and real about what's happening. You know. 310, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? $310?
Oh, Tim, how you doing?
I'm good, partner.
Call me by surprise. And I follow you religiously. You and Crystal, man, y'all be on point. I want to piggyback on a couple of things I heard. One of the things, I'm in I guess I'm an essential worker myself. I work at the airport. I'm a bus driver. And one of the things that I've noticed is that
You sound a little muffled,
no
man.
one cares, man.
Are you on a Bluetooth or something, man? Sound a little
No
muffled, bro.
one cares.
You hear me?
I think one of your callers mentioned that earlier.
No,
You know,
brother.
You have
Hello.
nurses.
Hey.
I saw a story about this lady who resigned from her job. I think that was on your show the other day. And no one cares. You know, I was just watching Bernie on Bill Maher tonight. I don't know if you did the piece about Whoopi on her show, the way she went in on Bernie and wouldn't let him finish his sentence. And it comes down to money. And people with money, this shit don't affect them. And that's the problem. The stimulus package has nothing to do with us. The average person that goes to work every day, we get shit on. And who's paying for that stimulus package? We are when we're working. Because those tax dollars is coming out of our paycheck. They're giving billions and trillions of dollars to these corporations. And Bernie done told them time and time again, but like I keep saying, people will vote against their own best interest. They will do it every time. I don't care what it's about. They will vote against their own best interest. How could you not want health care? How could you not want student debt relief? How could you not want to have a living wage? And that just doesn't mean $15 an hour, because every part of the country is different. But people will vote against their own best interest. You got Joe Biden. He's a shell of a person. This man can't hold a conversation with a first grader. And we're going to put him in the White House? Trump is going to eat this guy alive. You know, I don't like Trump, but that's what's going to happen. And the Democrats, they all in on this crap because they want to keep their money for him, man. It's all about money. As Bernie said, if I become president, I'm coming after that ass. Meaning you're going to pay these taxes. That's what this is about. These people do not want to give up their money. So they're not going to let Bernie come in there. Can you imagine big business, Bernie talking about Medicare for all? That means you're wiping out the insurance industry. You're wiping out the business in the hospital because the hospital is a business. They don't give a shit whether you get well or not. If you go up in there and we got a cut on you, well, that's automatically $100,000. We don't care what it is. People are not paying attention, man. And like I said, Joe Biden told people years ago, I don't give a damn about Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security. I'm trying to cut that shit. And people, I got friends of mine that do not believe that Joe Biden said that. They believe he's for us. I said, just because Obama had him don't mean he's for us. If you do your research, the only reason he picked him was to get them damn hillbillies and them white folks down there that was prejudiced on his side. That's why he chose Joe Biden. Joe Biden ain't nothing. He ain't never did nothing. But anyway, man, Tim, keep doing what you're doing, man. Your show is off the hook, and I'm crazy about it.
Man,
I hope you have a comment behind that.
Yes, I do. I do have a comment, man. I couldn't hear. I'm trying to tell you, I couldn't hear you in the beginning, but it got better. Yeah. Is that a comment? That good? No, man. I was told that there's people. Rami Osei Frimpong. He was on the show. You know the funky academic. He was on The Rising. So, like, once I introduced him, he ended up on The Rising. I was like, all right. He didn't reach back and thank me, but that's okay. That's still, it's okay. I get used all the time. But I'd say this. Here's the deal, guys. Arami said something I never thought about. He said that there are a lot of people down south who've been lied to so much, they don't believe anything. And the only reason why they trust Joe Biden, because he said he ain't going to do shit. So they believe, at least, he ain't lying because he ain't going to do nothing. And when they hear Bernie talking about Medicare for all, livable wage, they've been lied to so much, they instinctively think that's a lie. He said he said black people in the South, a lot of them look at Bernie like white people on the West, in the coast, look at Marianne Williamson, which is a lot of them think she's in the clouds. That's what, and Arami's in Georgia. So there it is. That's what he told me. Well, that's what he said on the show. So I don't know if that's true or accurate, but I don't think Arami's perception of what he believes is going on, I don't think he fabricated it. It's based in something. I don't know if it's the majority. I don't know if it's a minority, but I believe Arami's a fair person who wouldn't just say something just to say it. So it kind of leads me to one other point before I go to the next call. We are conditioned to turn against each other. We're conditioned to go after each other. Even though I'm disagreeing with a lot of the Bernie roasting, I can't disagree with the frustration and the anger and how the system has has us so bitter and pissed off or hopeless or angry. And that's not a person's doing. It's not like, I don't think people are choosing to be angry, upset, bitter, pissed off. Like, this system is so bad. I mean, 6 million people filed unemployment in the last 2 weeks. I'm going to go to the next call. It's crazy. 313, you're live. Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hi, Tim.
Hey.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello? Hi, this is Laura. Can you hear me?
Yes, Laura. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay. Gosh, now I'm lost. There's so much bad stuff going on, and I was thinking, like, I don't know. I can't stand Joe Biden. I won't vote for him. But, I saw him say something today about how he's not going for Medicare for all. And I was thinking, he said something like we couldn't implement it right away, even if he did have it. And I was thinking, you know what? They could implement it tomorrow because the whole system is already set up. Medicare is set up. All they got to do is drop the age requirement, and we could all be online signing up tomorrow. But I don't know. I don't know. You know what? In some ways, I think that they almost have to put in, when I heard what you heard about, Trump kind of implying that they might go to Medicare, I almost think that they might have to. And it's not because they want to, but they can't. I mean, it's always been a terrible thing that they let people go without health care and all that other stuff. But, it's almost like they have to go to Medicare for all. They may have to put it in. And because you can't let people die like this. You can't be letting people get sick. There's people without their jobs, all these people. I never did like health care tied to my job anyway. I lost my job over 10 years ago. I've been paying for my own health care for over 10 years. Wow. And I pay a lot for it because I'm so afraid of going into complete debt if something happens. And in fact, I got I'm on Obamacare, and I got high deductibles and all that stuff. But I don't know. I just get so disgusted. I don't know. Joe Biden, I don't know. I can't even imagine anybody voting for him. I mean, a guy that challenges people to push-ups and yells in their face. And I really thought that was disgusting. I thought, how could anybody vote for this guy? What are we going to do? Have this jackass go against the other jackass? I mean, what are we looking at here? Two people that shout in people's faces and talk stupid? I don't know. Plus, I don't know. Joe Biden, well, you can guess I'm in my 60s, and I could never stand Joe Biden. Never. I always thought, I remember the Anita Hill trial, the Clarence Thomas, when they were those, what were those called? When they,
Yeah.
I just remember Anita Hill and,
The hearings.
whatever, those, the hearings, that's what they're called. See, I'm not too good. But, I don't know, could never stand Joe Biden. Just couldn't. He talks out of both sides of his mouth. He's full of it. And every time he says, I don't want everyone to have Medicare, I don't know. He's just a jerk. Just a jerk. But, and even all this stuff about, I don't know, makes me feel very sad about when I see these people in the grocery stores and the nurses and the doctors not working with proper equipment. That's another thing. I keep thinking those doctors and nurses without proper equipment, it's like, where's OSHA? I mean, these are private hospitals. They should have had, their employees should have had the proper equipment. And I thought, look at this. This is where all this privatization has gotten us. They're not equipping their employees. And then, like, even in the grocery stores, a lot of those people, they're not getting paid very much.
Right.
And they don't have health care. And I don't know. I just go on and on. But you know what, Tim? You got a great show, and thanks for letting me speak. So
thank you, Laura.
Thanks a lot.
Be safe now.
Take care.
Thank you for calling. Be safe, please. 925, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment? Hey. Hello, 925. I hear you out there, 925. Nine two five. One more time. What can I do? I'll try to come back. 810, you're live, Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Okay, what's your name? What's your comments, my friend?
Hello. This is Jeremy.
Okay, Jeremy.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
All right. I don't know. I'm an environmentalist up here in Port Huron, Michigan. The Doors, I think it'd be Riders on the Storm, for the song, if that makes any sense, with your callers earlier.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, Bernie Sanders, never vote for Biden. Then I've been to two Bernie rallies. One was at the Cass High School, and then the other one was at the TFC Center, which is now going to be turned into a hospital. That's the old Cobo Hall, I believe. Anyway, so I just wanted to say that the reason why I am for Bernie is because he's fought for the, common people for 40 years plus.
Right.
And then also he's the candidate who gives a shit about the environment. So, anyway, that was my little rant. And,
well, thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate it, man. And
that's it.
All right. Stay safe in Michigan, Jeremy. I appreciate you calling up, man. 304, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. It's Trevor in West Virginia.
Trevor in West Virginia.
Well, I have a... Yeah, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, you're good, man. Go ahead.
All right. Well, I got a few different things here. First, I wanted to say that here in West Virginia, I have a friend who is a registered nurse, and she has been getting emails about how they are trying to get retired nurses and ARPNs. I'm not real sure what that is, but some kind of nurse other than an RN. They're trying to get them to come out of retirement for uncompensated duty.
What the hell?
They're trying to get them to, to try to come out for volunteering for, needy patients. And at the same time, they're also cutting nurses. So I don't, bullshit capitalism, basically. That's my rant on that. Secondly, I wanted to say, what's your comment on the TYT Jen Cougar union thing? I haven't heard anything about it on your show. Maybe I just haven't watched enough, but I'd like to know your comments on that.
All right, Trevor. Well, thank you for the phone call, man. To be honest, brother, I haven't looked into it myself. I watched someone else report on it, and that person didn't give me enough information, or I didn't sit through it long enough to really form an opinion. Of course, if there's union busting, you can jump off a cliff if that's what happened. So that's really what the question is, did he do it or did he not do it? Right? If he did it, it should be over. Right? If he did it, it should be over. The whole thing should crash down if he did it. Or he should be out, right? But as we see, people get to do whatever they want to do, and people ignore it. If he didn't do it, then it's a story meant to destroy him, and we should have his back. So the question is, which is true? And I don't know. But that's how I would feel about it, Trevor. I'm going to go to the next call, man. 252, you're live. Freedom Friday, what's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim, this is Carol from Fayetteville, North Carolina.
There
Calling
she
you
is.
back.
Yes. What's on your mind, Carol?
I want to start with a little bit of cynicism. I'm sorry, but I just want to tell everybody, please stop buying all the goddamn toilet tissue off the damn shelf. I am so tired. I'm a truck driver, and it's sad that they are paying me top dollar to run toilet tissue all across this goddamn country. And I would rather be doing something worthwhile, like running water and medical supplies and shit that people will actually need in a pandemic, not all this fucking toilet tissue. I'm tired. I really am tired. But, I just would like to say a few words about some of the comments that were said in the show. Personally, I really think that it's sad that people are focusing on like the little stuff. Right now, we need to get to a place of community. As I told you previously on the show, that I during the primaries in North Carolina, I physically took people to the polls. And when I get home, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go check on them people, because a lot of them were older, and a lot of them probably have not been going to the grocery stores and things like that. And I haven't heard back from them, and I've been texting them and things. So that's my number one thing. I haven't been home in a month because I've been working, taking toilet tissue everywhere for no goddamn reason. But yeah, it's just sad. I just want to encourage everybody to check on your older folks in your community. If they need things, don't be afraid to go and just take things to them and make sure they have the things that they need, because they are scared. They are so very scared. I talked to several of the people that I help go to the polls that are over the age of 60, and they don't want to come out the house. They're scared. They are. And one of your callers said, oh, well, you should have food stocked up. A lot of these people cannot afford to have food stocked up. They cannot afford it because Social Security is not enough for them to afford this. I am someone who supports Bernie Sanders because of the policies. And that's one of the reasons why I really get upset when people say, oh, Bernie needs to go harder. People have to realize Bernie Sanders doesn't go harder against these other candidates because you need the people that support these other candidates to come into the fold if he is the nominee. I personally never wanted him to do that because we should learn to expect more from our politicians. The reason why these people are out here doing these things that are so catty and so messy and so petty is because they're distracting us from the fact that they aren't doing shit for the citizens. And then you guys get such a rise out of the fact that they're out here fighting and arguing over stupid shit that another 4 years flies by and oops, still no Medicare for all. Oops, still no expansion of Social Security. Oops, still the infrastructure is still crumbling in the United States. It just don't make no sense. And I feel like education is the main goal going forward. Even if, because, you know, I'm a realist. Bernie Sanders probably is not going to be the nominee at this point. We got to focus on educating ourselves and our communities because what these establishment people were allowed to do in this election was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Bernie Sanders, hands down, best candidate, best policies, no reason why people should not vote for him. But en masse, they didn't because they were afraid. We have to conquer the fear that's put out there in this country in order to keep us down, to keep us separate, to keep, oh, I'm making more than you. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. No, we need to be united and we need to send a strong message to Washington. And that's all I wanted to say. Thank you for allowing me to say what I needed to say on your show. I was so happy that you uploaded today. It just made my whole day. It was wonderful. Thank you for all that you do, and you guys have a good night.
Thank you, Kim, for speaking truth to power. Check the chat. They're loving you. And everybody's talking about how you called up and knocked it out the park. Thank you for calling up, making the show better. 917, you're live, Freedom Friday. 917. You're live. .609, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Name's Chuck. I'm from New Jersey.
Yes, sir. What's on your mind, Chuckle?
Yeah. Well, I'm a 70-year-old man. Just want to let you know that, and I love your show, and I'm a big Bernie supporter. But there's a couple suggestions I just want to make. I don't know if they'd ever come true, but they should. Yeah, when I was in the military, I was a special forces soldier. When they sent you into combat, you got hazardous duty pay. And it's the same thing they should give the nurses aides, and the LPNs that are doing what they're doing, because they sure are in harm's way. Also, I think they should pay for the funerals of the people that died, because they let this happen. This idiot Trump, you know, this guy, he's too stupid to be a president, way too stupid. And also, one other thing, I just watched Crystal on The Rising, and she had a guest on there called Andrew Lawson. I don't know if you saw this or not. Did you?
No, sir.
Hello?
No, sir, I haven't. Go ahead.
Okay. And he had this fellow was an expert on pharmaceutical companies, and he was saying that when they do research and development, that the taxpayer pays for that. And what happens from there is when they're done all the research and development and the drug's approved by the FDA, they send it back to the pharmaceutical company, who more or less are monopolies, and they get the patent on it. And they give them the permission to charge anything they want. How about that, huh? We're paying for it, but they're getting all the money. Does that sound familiar? Anyway, those are the only two things I really wanted to say. But I do love your show, and keep on doing what you're doing.
Yeah, brother. Thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for the kind words. And you're right about that. It's a scam, bro. It's a horrible scam. We pay for the R&D, and then they put it out and they make all the profit off of it. I remember when they were talking about what's going on. They tried to make that one kid who raised the price of that one drug astronomically to make all those profits. They try to make him the poster child for what's wrong with our pharmaceutical industry, but it's not just him. They love to do that. They love to make the problem one person. Very rarely is the problem one person.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
And there you go. As usual. It was a good show, though. It was a good show. Very good show. I got to get in the Zen place over the weekend, man, where I'm not angry. God, I got to get in the Zen place. I want to thank everybody who called up tonight, who made this show a better show. You guys are incredible. And a nice field of different voices from all across the country even. That's what I'm talking about, man. And you make doing this worthwhile. You really do. So, yeah. We're going to come up with some ideas of how we can help each other, because I got a feeling this is going to go on for a long time. It's going to go on for a long time. So, yeah. Maybe I should be reaching out, and I got a few connections. Maybe I need to call in some favors and get that 501c filing done, and this, if I can get I know a few stars that follow me. Maybe they got a couple of dollars they can rub together, help the foundation, and then we're able to do some stuff that we can help each other. You know? Susan Sarandon is a friend, you know. John Cusack is a friend. Ben and Jerry's, they're friends. You know, like, at least I think they're my friend. You know? Maybe we should start thinking. I need to start thinking bigger about what we can do, because it ain't just about pointing at the other guy and yelling at them, or even yelling at that guy or pointing at the guy that's yelling. You know what I mean? Like, okay, so at the end of the day, you got to point at yourself and say, what are you going to do that's going to be more important than just squabbling with each other? Because it's still squabbling. I'm gonna go to the comment section now, guys, but you guys give me a lot to think about. So don't think that this is just a show where I'm trying to like espouse to everyone. That ain't the deal, man. You guys call up and you give me you give me different issues to think about, and you make me better. And hopefully we make each other better, all of us. And that's what the community's for, right? All right. So, yeah, that's what the community's for, Johnson. So let's see if we can get everybody, man. Before my freaking line was getting... Last show I did, the line kept dropping. I couldn't see the callers, and I couldn't see who left comments. And there's somebody whose comment didn't get read. Who's that person? Okay. Somebody just texted me about some stuff for anybody in the healthcare field who's in harm's way. We may have a line on being able to help them with N95 masks. So, was putting that out there for people in the healthcare field to contact me at tim@timblacktv.com. Contact me at tim@timblacktv.com. Send me an email, okay? Yeah. Anybody in the healthcare field. Joseph Lewis. Jose Lewis? Ojeda? Thank you for joining. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. I don't mean to butcher your name. But when your name is Tim, it's kind of hard to say name. My name is real simple, 3 letters. It's 7 if you want to make it harder. 8. 8 if you want to make it really hard. But thank you, Ojeda. Mina, thank you for joining the Wolfpack. Don, thank you for joining the Wolfpack. Progressive Geek. Thank you, Progressive Geek. Thank you so much. Greg Rankin, the people need to use the leverage this situation offers. Wages, unions, health care. Now, not later. 1,750 delegates, we can still elect Sanders. Yeah, Progressive Geek, thank you. I appreciate you. Shane Pereira, thank you. Greg says, Biden's a setup. DNC rules say they can hold a vote of no confidence and appoint whomever they want. Don't believe it. Look into it. Kip Winter, Tim Black's face mask fun. Thank you, Kip. It's finding them, right? It's finding those. Greg Rankin, time to use the leverage offered by the situation, wages, unionized, healthcare, etc. Biden is a trap, exit polls off by 15%. 15%. Isn't it like 4 the benchmark? Lisa Glenn, Marcus Will, why did Bernie defend Biden, lied about the civil rights when the mainstream media boarded up live during the debate? Wasn't Nina Turner right? He defended him? No. I don't remember that, Marcus. He defended Joe Biden lying? I don't know about that. Jura says, thank you, Tim. I've had a similar take. For months, all these progressive hosts attacking Bernie are hurting the movement at large. Kyle, Doherty, YT, all of them. We have work to do, as in us. 100, 100. And I'll be getting ostracized because I say that. Have you noticed I haven't been on anything lately? Yeah, that's why, Johnson. And I think some people did a couple of things too to kind of try to do some stuff. We'll see. We'll see. Cyrus, get on hell, Tim, 100% behind you, Johnson. Thank you, Cyrus, 76. 1976. Greg Rankin says, 3 jobs, that's uniquely American. Yes, it is. Ben, I'm screening calls next week, Johnson. All love. I feel you, man. Tim, hire this dude. He's the man. Jer said that. I don't know who you talk about. David Melford, thank you, Tim, for keeping it 100. Get us personal protective equipment. Give it to our healthcare heroes. Damn right, David. Damn right. Marcus just became a member of the Wolfpack family. Finally. But everyone stay safe. Out here in the NYC, it's really bad. And I'm at work as we speak with no safety. Damn. See, that pisses me off, brother. Hey, look, Marcus, man, we gotta find a way to help one another, man. We gotta develop a network, right? Thank you for joining, Marcus. We gotta develop a network, man. We can't have our people out here like that. We gotta, if we're gonna be a community, maybe we should be one all the way around. You know what I'm saying? And have a way of helping each other somehow. We gotta think bigger, right? Jer again, man. Thank you, Jer. Jer says to the last caller, she was amazing. Wasn't she, though? I know who that was. That was Kiera. I'm just guessing. Marcus, keep it up, Tim. People want Bernie to be mad and act like politics is World Star. World Star. Remember the World Star. All that tough talk got Tosi a delegate and Biden endorsement. Yeah, right. When I bring it up, people don't like hearing it. They get mad. But she wasn't in the debates because of the tough talk. That's why. See what they did to her? You saw what they did to Tulsi, and you say that's what Bernie should have did. I don't get it, but people like the angry talk, man. I know, because when I get angry, people like, I like it too. I don't like it when it's about Bernie. Save it for Amy Klobuchar, Joe Biden, and Cory Booker and Kamala Harris and, Bloomberg and the people that really deserve it. I wonder if people curse and spit at Bloomberg. Probably not. I tell you, man. You always more angry with the people you love, right? I don't know, man. I'm going on. John Smith, what's up, John? John became a member. Thank you, John, for joining us. Latanya, thank you for joining, Latanya. Got your back, Latanya. Princess Queen in the house. Tim, thank you for all you do. I'm down with helping my fellow progressives because the government sure isn't doing it. You damn right they're not doing it. I got connects. Maybe we should do something, right? Trudy, what's up? Sore loser laws prevent Bernie from running as independent. Why? People always say he should threaten it. That's their big solution. He should threaten it. Yeah, they haven't done the research you've done at all. It's just stuff they heard people say. They just say it. They've called on this show and said it. And yelled and cursed at Bernie for not doing it. But they didn't even take the time to even look up if it could be done. Think about that. They've cursed and yelled and spit and thrown stuff and got totally like he's a sellout. He's a plant. He's a sheep herder. He needs to run independent. That's why he won't do it. They don't even know he can't do it. Is that true? Is that what you're telling me? I know they asked Tosi, was she going to try to run independent? And she flat out said no. So I don't know if that's true or not. If you're telling me they can't run. So can they do it or can't they do it? Let's find out. Don't put Joe voters on defense. Ask them, do voters in remaining states deserve to vote? Put Joe voters. I don't know any Joe voters. At least not enthusiastic ones who aren't being paid. I'm not talking about Bakari Sellers, Alyssa Milano. They're paid. I'm talking about regular people. Enthusiastic. Princess Queen, thank you again. And Ben31, thank you for joining. Welcome to the Wolfpack. Wow. Yang was never progressive. Obama administration working. Sellout. Just like Biden. He sounded real butthurt when Biden said he was picking the female VP. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about it. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. I didn't even think about that. He did say he was picking a female VP, didn't he? And Yang is not a female. Yeah. The Yang gang has left me alone lately, so I'm not going to mess with them because they'll, I don't want to be antagonizing them, but boy. Some of them were laughing when Bernie got railroaded Super Tuesday. They were happy to see it. These people really don't care about the issues. Like, I want Bernie's policies for everybody. I don't just want Bernie to win. To go, yay, he won, I was right. I want him to win because we're going to fight to get them damn policies implemented. That's why I want him to win. That's why, because of the policy. Not for me to go, yay, we won. We like who? I'm a grown ass man, dog. I want stuff for my kids and my grandkids. I want stuff for your kids. I want stuff for your grandparents, my parents. Not just to go, I got bragging rights. These people are crazy. I'm telling you, man. Woo, these people crazy. These people crazy. Lord help them. Lord help them, y'all. Come on now. Come on, Johnson. All right, Johnsons, I love you guys. Be safe this weekend. Stay your butt in the house if you can. I know it sucks, but do it. Because look, man, I'm telling you, I'm going through it. I don't want to hear any bad news about you guys. Seriously. Don't take unnecessary risks. Okay? That bus driver story really pissed me off, man. I'm worried about my brother. All right? And I'm worried about you guys. So be safe. Stop hoarding all the toilet tissue so Kiara can deliver water and other essentials besides toilet tissue. And all right, guys, I'm gonna let you go. It's late. It's 2 in the morning. Man, I just passed 2. Man, I just be doing this show, don't I? I just keep doing this show. It's crazy. All right, guys. Go to become a member on Patreon as well. Patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. I got some announcements, but we'll wait because I got to make sure they're going to happen. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to jump the gun. We're doing some stuff. Let's just say your brother Tim Black, Johnson's been working Johnson, and it's some good stuff we're working on. So there you go. All right. Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. I'll see you on the next one. Make sure I got all my comments. Tanya. There was a Tanya who hit me up. Princess Queen. Tanya. And what did Tanya say? She said something. Okay, let me see. I want to find a Tanya message. She's like, you only got one of these. She made 2 super chats. And she said I missed the second one. Damn. Oh. Let's see. Jesus. Man. Sorry, guys. I'm looking for this comment. Gosh. I can't find it. Send me an email, Tanya, then I'll shout it out, whatever it was. It was a question. And I forget what the question was. It was a question. You wanted me to answer. It was about something. Of course it was about something, Tim Black. Tim Black, you're going crazy. All right, guys, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you soon. I'll try it. We did. Okay, so Tanya, what's Tanya what? Tanya A wanted to know about the Andrew Cuomo segment that we did. And that segment was done actually because of a great caller who phoned into the show her name was Diane, I think. Anna, who phoned in the show from New York, who knew about Andrew Cuomo or had an experience with him because he is her governor. So that's how we came up with that segment, and it was one of the more impressive segments, I feel, because it's firsthand knowledge from a real person. And it's not just what I read, what I believe, but it's what this person has lived. And if I'm not mistaken, she's lived in New York for a decade at least. So she's very familiar with how governorships in New York work, with what things have not been working. And one of the things that haven't been working is Andrew Cuomo for the people. So I feel like Andrew Cuomo is something they're trying to push on us at this point to kind of take the weight off of Joe Biden's ineptitude. And I'm not going for it, and I don't think you guys are either. There's some people saying that they feel that they're going to try to supplant Cuomo in. Because they're doing a lot of cush pieces for him right now. I mean, this focus on Chris Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo is like, it's kind of obvious. There's an end game. I don't know exactly what it is, but I don't trust it. As Chuck D would say. Oh, and Tanya, I appreciate you donating to the show, but I got to add this. I don't know if you remember when Chuck D was saying that him and Flavor Flav, they kicked Flavor Flav out of the group. It was like around the time they did the rally, the Fight the Power rally for Bernie Sanders. Now Chuck D says, hey, I didn't kick Flavor Flav out. I was just playing. We got an album coming out. We just made that up to get some publicity. Peace, y'all.